So hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I've had lunch, I am fed, so it is time to continue on with questing. Sorry if you heard a little keyboard toggling in the background. I was trying to find something in the settings but couldn't find it. There should be a way to like disable profanity and stuff in the sidebar chat, but I don't really know how to find that yet. I'll have to look it up later. So right now, let's return to the Drowning Wench. So I would really like to be able to upgrade to my Chocobo relatively soon. Aye, such a task was on the book. Was, mind. I'm afraid the ship has already sailed, friend. Ah, might you be the adventurer who accepted the job of investigating Satasha? I'm so tiny compared to everyone else. I wonder how these cutscenes go if you're a Taru. Like, do you barely... Are you visible above the text bubble? Just curious. It would seem that the ship has not only sailed, but now returns to harbor. None the worse for its voyage. A pity. We dragged our boots too long on this one. No matter. The wheel will turn and our chance will come. You're right, of course, but there shall be no rest till we have attained our goal, lofty though it may be. Not a wink of sleep, great leader. Our aim, lest you wonder, is to perform such feats of heroism, as well as earn us a place in the songs of every alehouse of Eorzea. We mean to write a legend, which will inspire adventurers as yet unborn to follow in our shining example. Despite the fact we have yet to set said example. Do you have such a goal? Large or small, it matters not. Only have a star to reach for, and you will reach higher. I wish to catch up to the progress of my friends. Purpose can sustain you through times of hardship. Keep your eye on the prize and all obstacles will be overcome in time. You would not think to stride into battle unclad, do you? Well, goals as arms and armor for spirit. I wish you fortune in endeavors. Back then, are ya? With all your limbs and a tale to tell, I'll wager. And my regular tail. Don't forget the actual tail. Fishbacks? And there I was thinking you'd only have to crack a pirate skull or 3. 7 hells. You turn your back for 5 bloody minutes, and the scaly bastards have set up shop in your bleeding doorstep. Still, sounds like you left them in pieces, so it doesn't suppose they'll be carrying out whatever mischief they was planning, unless they was planning on feeding themselves on Fauna and Satasha, of course. Any road, that all wells that ends well. Thanks for shedding some light on this mystery. I knew you'd get the job done. You always do. Now, I'll bet you're dying for a rest, but just in case you're not, I was wondering if you might be interested in taking on another job. It just so happens that I found a request from the Sister Guild in Gridania, you see. It seems the forest folk will need a venturer who can get things done. For them to ask for help like this, you can bet the task won't be no skip through the sunny glade, but after the way you dealt with a fishback infestation, I doubt it's anything you can't handle. Give us a shout when you're ready, and I'll lay it out for you. Party Finder unlocked. Level increase. 4 more to go. Ready to hear about the job then? Like I said, the request comes from our sister guild in Gridania. And that's all I know. But whatever it is you got asked to do, I somehow doubt it'd pose any trouble for a adventurer who survived the beldam of Satasha. If you think you might be interested, you'll want to have words with Mother Mune at the counterpart in Gridania. Good luck. Question is there anything else over here? Yeah, there is. Realize I've taken the long way to run towards my destination, but we shall arrive nonetheless. Because my next Marauder class is ready, which usually gives new moves. So unlike Hand of Trade and Hand of Land, this actually makes me a little bit more combat preparedness. I just noticed the rifles. This has rifles and axes? And I know they intend to potentially add another class to the game that might be a pirate in Dawn Trial. I'm not sure. I'm just making guesses based off the trailer. I'm curious if these two are going to share headquarters. Because they already have, like, a symbol here? What if you're, like, a dual pistol wielding pirate or something? Or maybe it could be a long rifle and guns? I don't know. We already have a long rifle class, though. So maybe it's dual pistols. We know it's going to be DPS, but that's about all we know. Wishes to set you for trial that will hone your skills to an even greater heights. Because we already have, like, a ton of sword classes. Just saying. Our nearest disastrous encounter with the pack of fellow Kujata has been preying on my mind. The overwhelming number of the beasts was beyond aught I had imagined. Even the most dedicated marauder could not hope to curb the thought of snarling well of flesh. And we cannot dispatch the pack, then Kujata remains beyond our reach. Thus I have prepared for you a trial that shall unleash your deepest reserves of destructive strength. Okay. As before, Skullwhip awaits you at the Bismarck to guide you on your path. Do not squander this opportunity for growth. The pride of the guild itself rides on the keen edge of your axe. They seem to be just down and to the right then. I realize now I could have warped, but I'm too far gone. Oh, that's right, the Bismarck is the culinary guild. Forgot about that. You've word from my brother. The pride of the guild, huh? My brother has placed quite a burden on your shoulders, it seems, but from what I have witnessed, if any marauder has the skill and determination to put down Kujata, then it's you. And there is, of course, the matter of Sighard's vengeance. You don't want to disappoint the poor boy now, do you? Let us be about this trial. I shall meet you on the Salt Strand in Lower Lanasi, where your training shall take place. Well, naturally, I will be there. Without me, you'd like to forget to tend your wounds and bleed out to death. Sassy white mage lady. Tall, sassy white mage lady. Okay, let us go to Salt Strand. Just warp. I have enough muns for the warp. Sorry. Sometimes I eat things and then my lungs decide they hate me. Should just be able to, even if I take damage, screw it. Or I could just do the Skyrim thing. There we go. Mind the wall close enough. And it technically doesn't count as fall damage. I love how I barely played that game. Didn't have a good time with it, and yet has radically and permanently changed my perspective on how to traverse landscapes because I got so darn stuck and couldn't get unstuck that I started breaking the game. Oh, it was actually really broken already when it launched, because, again, PS3 version. Well, this should be the place. I don't see... Ah, you sense the encroaching aura of violence. Pray unlimber that axe of yours. Level sync to 29? Well, let's hope we're good enough. Oh yeah, 15. 15's fine. Eyes on me! It seems to be the last of them, compared to what we faced before, though it wasn't terribly... So this is the indomitable Bren Nightmare. Who in the Seven Hells are you? Wait, is that? We have deemed you worthy of our challenge. Come, Marauder, let us test the edge of your steel. Oh, brother. Potentially quite literally. Defeat the masked marauders. We're getting hazed. Oop. Fuck on it. Nope. Controller, please behave. Eyes on me. I hazed the whole platoon. I mean, this is how you handle a hazing. You haze them right back. Someone familiar. Gee, I wonder who it could possibly be. Let's not beat him up too badly. It seems my underlings have provided with poor sport. Very well, I shall take measures with my own blade. Do not think to shore quarter, Bren, for I shall surely show you none. Indeed, he also knows my name. Defeat the familiar marauder. I already did. Spent already? Our battle has scarce begun. I'm not even close to spent, but thanks anyway. It's axe versus very familiar axe. I yield. Your strength has humbled us all. Aye, it might just be enough. We are done here, my colleagues. Drag away those who cannot stand. Your display of prowess was truly impressive. Worthy indeed. Ah, what a ridiculous charade. Did he honestly think we couldn't see through those paltry disguises? Though I'm confident my brother's act was not born of malice, rather, he was hoped by concealing his identity that the trial would seem more threatening, thus increasing his effectiveness. Not an entirely successful undertaking, but one must appreciate the intentions. Yeah, for those that aren't catching on, that was our guild master. It's time you return to the guild. Oh, and do me a favor, pray indulge my Windzorin of his little deception. Subterfuge is not a marauder's forte. And behold, quest complete. Head back to Limsa. Let's go, Marauders. I have heard of your skirmish on the Salt Strand. I bet you have, Mr. Only Wears a Helmet to hide identity. You did well to topple opponents of such formidable skill. But let us not dwell on the nature of those masked men. What is important is your triumph in the face of overwhelming odds. Your fellow marauders are honored to have you swing your axe in the guild's name. They stand behind you, one and all, as you prefer to overcome your greatest trial yet. Aye, the time has come for you to bring Kujata's bloody rampage to an end. When next he rears his horrible horned head, you should be ready to bury your blade in his skull. Now we actually do get some stuff that might be worthwhile. Hey, oh wait. Cannot equip gear to head. Oh, I hate this armor. Yeah, it has such high stats because it doesn't let you wear head armor. And I think the same is true of the legs. Yeah, cannot equip gear to feet because it counts as both. And when I wear them, I look like a dork. I do not like some of these options and will be avoiding them. But with that, we are further along with our Marauder class. Ta-da! Slightly better weapon. I can hit harder again. Hooray. Alright, there's some stuff around here too. Armor and blacksmith. I should probably get talking to those fine folks. Where are they? Oh, I can only go down this far. They really need one more crystal here. I hate hoofing it every time. Yeah, they could use like another one, like right in here, for events and for the Blacksmith's Guild. Where are them hammers I asked for? Should be in here. There we go. Get some of this out of my inventory. I'm running out of space. I love that I'm getting the event music for the actual appraisal. Seems like time wasn't no fluke. Here's some impressive work. Now a layman might look at this and think, you just stuck a piece of bronze and a maple stick, but you've done a damn sight more than that, whether you know it or not. A hammer's a tool, after all, and the head's got to grip the shaft for tens of thousands of strikes. What's more, when a smithy's pounded a red-hot piece of metal, their hammer takes up some of the heat and swells with the touch, which ain't a problem, unless it's a poorly made piece of shite. Take it from me, there's few things more embarrassing than flinging a glowing hammered head over your shoulder straight into the eye or your newest apprentice. Starting to giggle, sorry. Even if he did eventually get his sight back. Oof, yeah. Ooh, that's bad. But I reckon your hammers won't lead to any incidents like that. In short, I'm happy with what you've done. Now I'll spare both of us the don't rest on your laurels speech, if it's all the same to you. Stating the bleeding obvious is best done with a drink in hand, I find. But well done, any road. Here, you'll be needing this. A hammer will suffice for simple smithing, but complex jobs call for more delicate touch, which is what the file gives you. Using one alongside your hammer will make life a good deal easier, whatever you're crafting. Try smithing something simple. I guarantee you'll see the difference, and when you get that done, do it again. I want you to practice till you can wield that file as well as your hammer. Once you got the hang of it, come back here for another task. Certain gear grants bonuses, yep, by having additional slots taken up. Higher craftsmanship rating hastens the progress of synthesis. Greater control increases your chance of creating high-quality items, that thing I was talking about in the last episode. And additional craft points I can't English today. Improves, I know what I'm reading, getting it out of my mouth is the hard part. Improves your crafting stamina. Outfitting yourself with an eye to your current objective will increase the efficiency of crafting endeavors. I promise I did not drink with lunch. I promise. I'm just like this. You know what? It may not be my place to say it, but me being your guildmaster and all, but I like you. I really like you. Together, there's not we can't... What? Why are you making a face at me? No, I don't mean like that. You're the most promising pupil I've had in God knows how long at all. I was just waxing sentimental for a moment. You can't honestly tell me you don't get a bit emotional when you've been out on the night before and... Oh, forget it. Been working hard, have you? I can tell. But it's just the beginning. You see, the art of blacksmithing is deeper than the deepest ocean. And if you plan on getting to the bottom of it, you'll need to... Sink? No, that's not good. Alright, how about this? If you mean to set sail for the faraway land of, smithing mastery, you mustn't try to make the journey a dinghy. Got it, metaphors, huh? Ah, the hell's with it. Just make me a dozen bronze rivets. I'm very curious if he has the same conversation with a male character. Bronze rivets, bronze rivets, bronze rivets. I like the music, it's jazzy. Oh, maybe there. Oh. Oh no. Liver bronze rivets. I didn't realize it was such a low-skilled thing. Well then, let's quick synthesis 12 of these, because they're so low level it doesn't matter. Materials like this I don't mind auto-doing and having mixed tiers of quality, because the stuff I can make is already so mixed and varied to begin with. I'm so high level it doesn't matter, basically. He'll probably want the rivets to be of good quality. But this part, I can just fast forward this. Methinks maybe I have not had enough caffeine for today. Although I'm kind of trying to keep it even because I noticed my caffeine tolerance has been going up. The fact that I'm crafting a level 3 item and I'm level 20, I am so far behind. This is embarrassing. I bet it was because I was making a ton of iron chunks as a miner. Went and leveled myself all the way up by accident. At least it won't take very long. I think fishing is only level 7 though, so I don't think I got fishing up high enough. I think I was working on fishing and then the IRL drama happened, so I only got so far. Since I tend to do stuff like this in the background while I'm working on actual tasks. Since the bulk of my job is working from home. Because it turns out if you're doing office work, I have all that on my own PC. Next. Why come in and waste office space? Oops, it was already at 100. You get in a rhythm of things and I'm not even looking at it anymore. That's what I'm getting at. There, all done. Oh, the ribbon's coming along. Anytime now. Here you go. Here's your box of bronze. Praise the builder, you've done it again. These rivets are perfect. Your nails, have your nails. But don't take them to mean they're special, because they ain't. You see, rivets have got to be perfect, and I'll tell you why. They are perfect. If you're pounding something and your hammer breaks, you can just grab a new one, but a whole other story when your rivet fails. Next thing you know, your airship's coming out of the sky. That's what he says. Ever seen an airship? Marvelous things they are, but bloody complicated. Now imagine you're a dozen malms above Limsa and your fancy boat starts springing rivets. Might as well be from the engine, might be from the hull. Don't make no difference. Whatever it is, you're royally buggered. It's the exact thing I was using as my example. That's funny. If I was on that airship, taking in the gorgeous view as the confounded contraption tumbled down to the earth below, I'd be cursing them rivets with all my heart. And the half-assed bastard that shat him out too. And you wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you? Well, it's why you must always make quality products and stand the test of time. To help you learn the importance of quality, I want you to try smithing for paying customers. Start by having a word with Tamorki down at the Wench. She should be able to point you in the direction of a few Lumensians in need of service of a talented person like yourself. Hone your craft, earn some coin, hell, let's have a drink while you're at it. The Wench is always serving. Next. Ah, hells, not now. Can't you see I'm struggling with a matter of great import? Being a forge master ain't all drink and debauchery, especially when Hazana's breathing down my neck. We're a business, she says, and it's our job to ensure Naldeacon from Ellie stays profitable or some other such bollocks. To which I say, now look here, you greedy shrew. We making a mint off of a commission from the maelstrom, ain't we? Well, I might have said shrew. Any road. The greedy shrew starts yattering on about expanding into the bleeding markets. Says we should be selling more of the tree folk in Gridania. Says I should be the one developing a plan of action. 7 hells, I'm a smithy, not a merchant. I've never been to bleeding Gridania. Oh, it gets worse. See, we need a man with connections, don't we? Someone that can make us arrangement with the tree folk. So Hananza goes and finds one, right clever bastard by the sound of it, and orders me to go and meet him. So I goes and meets him, only to find that none other than bleeding Phaser. I'd sooner bash my own teeth in than talk to that piece of... Wait a minute, I know how to deal with this. You can talk to him. You help old Brithel handle this Gridania nonsense, won't you? Of course you will. Go on, chop chop. You socialize in my stead. I can't stand the man. Here on Brithel's behalf, you say? I might have guessed. That horse son doesn't realize the trouble he's in. Well, it's his neck. I'll work with you, Smith, and I'll even keep my diction simple. Taking instruction from that drunkard will indulge your wits. Now listen. Dealing with Gridanians is no different from dealing with anyone else. Everyone has needs, it's just a matter of identifying and fulfilling them. Anyone with half a brain, which discounts your mentor, knows that the Frostborn do not want wood or leather goods. You have more luck selling brine to fishback. What they lack is steel. Theirs is insular, isolated nation that has long sought to survive without relying overmuch on foreign trade. But the Calamity changed all that. Half a decade on, and with no end to the rebuilding in sight, they've been forced to open their gates to adventurers. And when there are adventurers, there's demand for weapons and armor. Quality weapons and armor, mind you. My Gridanian contacts would accept nothing less. I will need some samples to show them. Bring me a bronze spatha and a spiked bronze labrys for the purpose. Ookie? Bastard sword, peen hammer, claw hammer daggers. That'll be in the next one, actually. Labrys. Spiked bronze labrys. Which I probably need to make the labrys first. Spatha. Spatha, 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 spatha. Spatha. Ramhorn. Where the heck do I get a ram? Probably over in Ul'dah. Bronze ingot, hard leather. Alright, well that'll be for once I'm back over there. Let's swap to armor. Right. Actually, let's swap really quick back to blacksmith just to make sure I'm well equipped. Okay, we're good. And back. How fare your task? Do you have the 3 hoplins for me? Sure do. Impressive. You have managed to balance the conflicting requirements of sturdiness and portability, much as you balanced hardness and malleability on your first task. The bronze plate is securely fitted and should weather the most vicious blows without becoming dislodged. And importantly, your work is swift and sure. Many an armor has lost a sale due to late delivery, and rightfully so. Well, I guess you gave me one heck of a deadline then. A customer is in need of armor is invariably pressing, and its absence is likely to be sorely felt. Given the stakes, a reputation for reliability can mean handsome profits, especially at a time when the Maelstrom is seeking armors and outfits in its ever-expanding ranks. It is all we can do to keep peace with the Grand Company's orders for equipment, and that is why every member of our guild must support the next, much as the warriors of Eld support their fellows of the Phalanx with their shields. Though you have but recently begun your training, a woman of your natural talents belongs on the front line. I think the time has come for you to learn to use another weapon in the Armorier's arsenal. Specifically, pliers. Take this pair and try using them in combination with your hammer. Yep, just like everything else. You get a secondary tool to use in Disciples of the Hand. There's the words. It'll still feel strange at first, but persist and you will find that your work proceeds a damn straight sight more smoothly. When you think you've mastered the pliers, I want to see the results of your dedication. Until then. Anything else I need here? Probably not. Money. Ah, just who I was hoping to see. I have a new initiate that has near exhausted my reserves of patience, and I think she will find benefit from seeking the results of a peer's dedication and skill, specifically yours. Her name is Grane, and builder help me, she is the most distracted, fumble-fingered craftswoman I've ever to lift a hammer. If she could learn to forge the simplest of items without constant supervision, I would consider it a rare victory. It's unfortunate that Brygot did not see fit to invest all of my armors with your innate talents, but I suppose we must start somewhere, and if I abandoned every initiate that is slow to grasp a technique, our guild would have grand total of, what, 9 members, mayhap 10? I jest. But 'twould be few enough for our clients at the Maelstrom to have to share breastplates. So what do you say? You need only craft a dozen sheets of bronze plate to supplement Grane's own. When they are ready, I want you to deliver them to the lass in person. Mayhap your example will inspire her to take more care of her work. Alright, same idea as before. Let's actually get away from this so we're not in the way of other people. But, ooh, we don't have enough. I need tin. I'll probably take 15 more copper ore just in case. Guild supplier. Give me... not that. 15 of that. At least 12 of this. Begin! Same idea as before. Crafting up a storm. Achievement, I guess. Having crafted so many things, it's gotta be a couple hundred by now. Maybe it's for using the auto crafter instead. Okay. Plates. Actually, I'm not sure if they need to be high quality. It's just said to deliver them. Should I oh no, I don't have enough. I need 12 bronze plates and it uses 2. I wasn't paying attention. Good job. Actually, as weird as it sounds, I'll get 15 so that I have leftover enough in case I need to make bronze later. Can you let me... Why are no... Oh, max attempts 9, that's why. Like, why isn't it letting me... Can I not math today? Is something wrong with my brain? Hello? Oh, for frick. Did I not order enough? I'll just buy another. I'll use them in the future. If not, I'll sell them. I'm like, why isn't it letting me raise it higher? Because I am idiot. It doesn't say it needs to be high quality. So I'm not sure if I should make them by hand or... set them to just go nuts like this. I know I get way more experience doing them by hand, but I'm level 18 on armor. So I don't think it'd make a huge difference. Anyway, let's just get her done. So that we can start working with stuff other than bronze as well. 'Tis only so far you can get with lumpy metal. Another achievement. Also level 19, so I guess it's worth crafting this. Or it used to be. Halfway. Two more. Oh, gotta use a high quality one. Oh, the sun's coming up. Oops. It worked so well, I did it in one, but whatever. Yeah, done. Let me out. Oh, you must be Bren. The guildmaster told me that you'd be... Wait, where did I put my hammer? Oh, there it is. Sorry, what were you saying? Right, yes. I'd be most grateful for the extra sheets of the bronze plate. Even though I know she'll probably mess them up. Gods, did you craft these yourself? Why, they're absolutely... Whoa, nearly dropped them. No harm done, though. And with bronze, very malleable metal. As I was saying, I can certainly see why the Forge Master speaks so highly of your work. The bronze is the perfect color and thickness, so I assume you carefully measured the amounts of tin and copper? I always did add too much tin. Did you know metal can shatter? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Well, I didn't. Truth be told, I tended to put all my effort into making the armor itself, rather than bothering with the base materials. I mean, compared to hammering out glorious winged helms or ornate greaves, measuring out metals just seems so trivial. Well, then you're not going to be able to make the, things you wish, are you? With the wrong ingredients. It's like saying, oh, I don't really pay attention to what I put in a cake, I just wanted cake. What, you mean you can't make a cake out of cornmeal? You have to use wheat flour? Looking at your work, I'm beginning to wonder. I never realized how beautiful a simple sheet of bronze could be. With materials like this, just imagine the sturdy, shiny suits of armor one might create. It seems I've been putting the cart before the chocobo. From this moment onward, I swear to focus all my attention and care on the task at hand. Even the task at hand is forging bronze ingots. And what of you? Do you have any grand projects waiting for you on the anvil? I overheard the senior armories boast about the coin that they made through craft leaves. Might that be something you consider? They say Tamorki at the Drowning Wench is one to talk to, and that's where I'll be headed once I improve my technique. Now, where did I put that hammer? You should really consider getting a utility belt, dear. By the looks of it, you're technically wearing one. Wait. Well, I found the hammer. I guess there's some things I can't fix. Where have you been? There's work to be done. I need to speak with another novice, a lass by the name of Dristwida. I was due to Barboot and Buckler from a few bells ago, but I find myself standing here with nary a nose guard. Lest you wonder, Dristwida is nothing like Renee. She's dedicated to the craft as you are, and I've never known her to miss a delivery. Something must be amiss, and I need to find out what. I'd go and ask her myself, but I fear my usual approach would do more harm than good. The lass might be built from a stack of anvils, but she flinches at the merest hint of criticism. That's why I decided to assign you as Dristwida's, I keep wanting to say that backwards, superior for this job. I'm counting you to sort this out. A pleasure to meet you. I'm sorry the Forge Master had to interrupt your work so that you might assist with mine. I do hope you're not angry. I don't know if I could endure another dressing down. As pathetic as it sounds, it's actually the reason my delivery is late. I just can't bring myself to work. I'm sorry, I should start from the beginning. A short while ago, I received a visit from an armorer by the name of Blansteer. He is of the Old Guard, a true veteran of the guild. But after a single glance at the armor I had made, he yelled at my work that wasn't to fit the cupboard of a kobold's arse. And now I cannot banish the scene from my mind. His face twisted in anger and the scornful words, "Am I truly so talentless?" The shame, it paralyzes me. If he had expected the flaws in my work, I might endeavor to correct them. But I couldn't bring myself to speak to him, or to anyone else for that matter. Not until now. Might you speak with Blansteer on my behalf? I would know the reason behind this reprimand. He was just a really picky customer. Welcome to customer service. Everybody encounters one at some point. I am Blansteer. If you're looking for an armorer with skill and integrity, you found him. What are you after then? You want to know what's amiss with Dristwida's work? One of the guild's newer faces, are you? All these whelps training under Hazana have got their heads filled with daft, bloody notions of cooperation and camaraderie when what they should be learning is how to use a pair of pliers. I've yet to meet one of her novices that could forge an ingot worth a damn. And them as ain't got the skills ain't worth the time, which means you. Now bugger off. Not budging, huh? Wearisome wench. Alright then, tell you what. I'll give you one chance to prove yourself. Let's see you craft the same pieces as your friend made such meal of. A decorated bronze barbet and a bronze buckler, it were. And if they're half decent, we'll have ourselves a nice little chat. Alright. Barbet and buckler. Let's see what we got. Barbet, that's a helm. Just a whole bunch of bronze and some copper ingots, but that's easy enough. I need to go reinvest in some bronze though. Again with this. Alright, let's... I'm just gonna get a whole bunch. If it's a bad investment, I don't care. We'll just make some basics for now, since I'm really low on the quest levels. Hopefully the buckler doesn't require too much of me. I don't think anything challenging is going to come about until I start working with iron. Next. I knew we need at least a bronze plate. Starting to get some materia out of this. That's what that symbol is for when it goes crazy around me. With the lights, that means one of my pieces can have a materia crafted from it. I'm not going to worry about that yet. Okay, one plate, one rivet. I like one more rivet. Okay, it's barbet time. I'm probably good with just the regular copper. There we go. Barbet done. And a bronze buckler, which is probably going to be up in 11 to 15. So what do we need? As soon as I find it. Bronze buckler, level 15. A bronze plate and iron rivets. There's the catch. Do I have any iron ingots? Rivets. There they are. Yeah, I have some iron that I can use. Joke's on you, this isn't my first time working with iron. I've been running around Ul'dah like a chicken. Okay, what else did it need? It needed one more bronze plate. Nice. And now it's buckler time. Decorated bronze barbet. Oh, I missed one keyword. I probably need the regular one, though. Okay. I'm like, why isn't that updating? Decorated. Bronze cuirass, bronze sabatons, bronze gauntlets. I bet it's, okay, I did need to make the bronze barbet, though, so I didn't waste my time, and I didn't waste yours. So this is a little different. First, we need to select the one that we made, which it sort of does like this. There we go. Takes it out of our inventory automatically. Let's add a copper ingot, and let's add a brass ingot. Thankfully, I have these left over from goldsmithing. I didn't check on the goldsmith while I was in Ul'dah. If I ever have harebrained moments like that, feel free to let me know. Like, you forgot about the such and such. I have so many things going at once in the background, like, feel free to just poke me. This game drags my attention everywhere. I mean, obviously I can always come back to it, but... if you see me wandering off into dumbass territory, feel free to grab me. Oh, it's foggy. It's really foggy. Bring me a decorated bronze barbet and a bronze buckler, or you'll get naught out of me, save curses. You weeping sack is a hog and shite. You seem like you're not capable of having a date, are you? This man has negative riz. Back at last, are ya? I was beginning to think you crawled off to Ul'dah to buy the damn things from a back-alley peddler. Because I've never done that before. Any road. Let's have a look, shall we? Bugger me, are you sure you made these yourself? Surprisingly, I actually did this time. Huh. Seems at least one of Hananza's whelps knows the difference between twixt a hammer and a sledge. Build or take me, you've got some talent. This barbet will show the character of your work, precise and uncompromising as it should be. You've realized that forging a helm ain't a matter of slapping a few molded sheets of bronze together. Nice. And your buckler's just as good, small and light, but a damn sight sturdier than shields twice the size. Didn't expect to be saying this, but I'm surprised with this level of quality and polish. You can make a tidy living for yourself as an artisan. But you're the exception, as proves the rule. Fact is, the other novices ain't fit to lick your boots, Drewista included, so you tell her this from me. If you've the time to wallow in your Wounded tears, you've time to examine your own mistakes. There's no room in this world for craftsmen that can't criticize their own handiwork. So learn how to gain your failings and correct them, or hang up your bloody hammer. Hello, ZT Freak. We're finally back with Final Fantasy XIV. It's been forever. But I finally finished up enough tasks to get back to it. Yay! Wait, something's over here. What's it trying to draw my attention to? You! Why is my... For whatever reason, it wasn't letting me select her. Or hang up my bloody hammer. Well, thank you for passing on Blanster's advice. I believe I understand what he means to say, but not everyone has the inner fortitude to endure such criticism, be it from oneself or from others. If such strength is required to master the armorer's art, then mayhap I have mistaken my calling. I joined the guild with the dream of following in Hananza's footsteps, but I see now that that was folly. I shall have to think long and hard about my aspirations. Please convey my apologies to the Forge Master for the delay. Hey, if a job isn't for you, it's okay to say, I feel like trying something else. Ah, so it was Blansteer that caused this mess. The old bastard always did take it upon himself to weed out the weaker initiates. We're not exactly on the best of terms, he and I, even after all this time. I've known Blansteer since we were naught but wide-eyed novices, serving our apprenticeships under the same master. We always had our differences, but when our master retired, they became that much more stark, and when we both put ourselves forward for the role of Forge Master, the resulting contest drove a permanent wedge between us. Blanster's arguments are not entirely without merit, but neither is his approach, the only way to train new armorers. But that damnable curmudgeon, though it's his way or no way at all. The idea of nurturing aught less than God's given talent is anathema to him, and his ears wax deaf at the mere mention of it. But outfitting an army is the work of more than a talented few. It is the work of many hands, acting in unison. I've turned a blind eye to Blanster's behavior until now, but if he would threaten the unity of this guild, something needs to be done. I will think on it. You can't go scaring away the new recruits before they learn how to work, otherwise we won't have any recruits. How fare you? Have you not had any further dealings with Blansteer? If so, I do hope his bile has not begun to wear away at your better judgment. Lest you think me unjust, I do not dispute his skill with a hammer, I merely take issue with the lack of respect he shows those he deems inferior. He's responsible for breaking the spirits of more than a few novice armorers, and our ranks suffer for it. But I cannot in good conscience remove his name from the guild register. For all his flaws, Blansteer's knowledge and experience will be too great a loss. Instead, I must find a way to soften the old buzzard's stance, and for that I require your assistance. He will not unfold his thoughts on me, but mayhap he will to you. Don't look so surprised. You're one of the few armorers in this place whom he wouldn't see to cast out. He may possess all the charm of a rabid coral, but he does have a fine eye for talent and an appreciation of well-crafted goods. Take him one of your best iron hoplins, and I dare say he shall share his thoughts with you. But I should warn you, Smearwerbs informed me that we scarcely have insufficient iron plates to cover our existing commissions, so you'll have to look elsewhere. Hawker's Alley will almost certainly have what you need, or there is always the option of mining it yourself. Either way, I apologize for putting you into additional trouble. One last thing. I want you to meld materia into the finished shield. That should get the old sod's attention. Your vacant stare does not inspire confidence. In brief, materia is the crystallized essence of a well-worn piece of equipment. Such crystals are attached to gear to enhance various properties. If you would wish to know more, you should consider paying Mudamix a visit at his camp in central Thanalan. He will teach you about the process of enhancing equipment using materia. Oh, and he's a goblin. Now, the shield you craft must embody all the knowledge and skill you have gained thus far. The sight of it should serve to convince Blansteer that you are like a like-minded soul, and prompt him to speak to you as such. Good luck. May the builder guide your hand. Okay, thankfully we've already done the materia thing. So that part isn't too far above me. Deliver a materia-enhanced iron hoplon. So let's see. Actually, let's check my character first. Make sure. Yeah, there we go. Get the best equipment for the job. We already have plenty of iron, because I am crazy. Went around like a goofball. Iron hoplon. There we go. It wants this. I also need elm lumber, though. I don't know if I have any elm. I don't think I got far enough to make elm. If that is the case, we will get back to that later. Gotta remember my menus here. It's literally been a month, so I gotta relearn how to... There we go. Good equipment. Elm. Nope, I don't have any elm logs. I need to go eventually get elm logs. So that is good for there. Let us do culinarians next. Seriously, I kind of want these little papier-mâché bombs. Like, just to hang aesthetically around my office. I think they would look really cute. Culinarians. There is a new quest. Ah, fine time and I need your help. Remember Ingham? Well, your grilled trout did wonders for his motivation. Lad's been working his arse off ever since. Any road, I thought I'd give him a chance to prove himself with a big order for delivery, but it looks like it might have been a bit more than he can chew. Now everything here is made to me satisfaction, the problem being that he's not made. And I ain't talking about a missing turtle tool? Nor a stray crouton either. I'm talking about the bleeding main course of grilled dodo. So I'd be much obliged if you could whip up 2 servings instead and give it to him real quick. In case you're not familiar with the dish, 'tis one of the Bismarck's old favorites. You rub garlic and salt into a piece of dodo tenderloin, then grill it. Shouldn't pose a rising star like yourself no trouble. It's literally just chicken. Some grilled chicken. Grilled dodo. Table salt. And garlic. I'm probably gonna have to buy some garlic. I have rock salt. Which apparently I make with a knife. Okay, garlic. Oop, nope, not you. Need some... Oh, I can actually buy dodo tenderloin. Buffalo beans, rye, cinnamon, garlic. I might try farming some garlic in my own time in real life. I did an onion this year just to see if I can grow stuff from the seeds next year. Ironically enough, that wasn't something I intended to originally do, but the goofball neighbors next door during one of their parties threw onions into our yard for some reason. Our entire yard was littered like with onions, and I'm like, what if I plant one of these and see if it sprouts? And it did, and I got seeds. So, yeah, inspiration comes from weird places, oftentimes other drunk people. Try and make something good out of the bad, I guess. There we go, grilled dodo. What is it now? A guildmaster has entrusted me with the preparation of a sizable order, so if you don't mind, I shall get back to work. Huh? You brought me 2 servings of grilled dodo? And what precisely do you propose I do with? The main course! How could I have forgotten the main bloody course? And it's far too late to start preparing now. Damn it, your grilled dodo will have to do. I only hope that the quality of the other courses and accomplishments compensates for... By the 12, you cooked these? The golden brown hue, tantalizing the eyes from betwixt the perfect diamond pattern of griddle lines. The surface is seared to perfection. Aye, over a hot fire to seal the juices, just as the guildmaster teaches. In the irresistible aroma, just enough garlic to balance the dodo's gamey richness, but not so much as to overwhelm the palate. Beg pardons. As I was saying, this is impressive. Grilled dodo may seem a simple dish, but therein lies the rub. If one thing goes wrong, everything goes wrong. I cannot have produced anything near this standard. Gods damn it! I practice every day and night in order to improve my skills, only to botch my largest ever order, and then you come in and save the day. You, of all bloody people! Ugh, what have I done to deserve this? What issue do you have with me? Suffice it to say, I am not pleased with how things have turned out, but you've done me a kindness, and I will always repay my debts. Listen well, for I will share with you information that should prove your point. You know what guild leaves are, I trust? Well, there's a variety that calls for culinary expertise. They're known as tradecraft leaves, and they provide an excellent opportunity to hold your skills while earning coin. If such work interests you, I recommend you speak with Tamorki of the Adventurers Guild. And on that note, away with you. Rude. So rude. I saved your butt. Okay, next one's not going to be until level 15, so I can cook basic dishes in my own time. In the meantime, so let's see, we did Culinarian, we did Blacksmith, Armor. Are any of the rest of these? Fisher! I don't think I'm high enough for the next Fisher quest for levels, but I can check. Also, better stat equipment. Nope, I'm not. Okay. So if that's done, Carpenter, Leatherworker, Goldsmith. Goldsmith? Yeah, but that's going to be in Gridania. Why is it? Reassign current gear to Fisher? Yeah, why not? Fisher registered. That's weird. I don't know why it was giving me that warning sign. And we're not in Gridania at the moment, we're in Limsa. So what next is MSQ, I guess? Maybe. Let me just double check my journal. Limsa. Beauty's only scalp deep, but I need to go to other places to do that one. Alright! Call of the Forest is next. Oop, the duty roulette. While using the duty roulette, you will be assigned a random duty from among those you have unlocked. Basically, it picks a dungeon for you based off of stuff. I only have the one. In return for leaving your destination in the hands of fate, you will receive enhanced rewards, so I recommend doing that at least once a day. Furthermore, should you happen to be an adventurer in need, that is to say, your role is in short supply, tank or white mage, tank or healer, I shouldn't say white mage, because white mage is an actual class, not a role, but healer is. Tank or healer, you will receive an additional bonus. So, sorry DPS. To Gridania! Sorry, I like to get stuff done by town, just because it's a lot cheaper. I don't have to warp constantly. Because I'll be heading back to Ul'Dan eventually. Take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come and take your... Oh, not here to dine? Dare I hope that you're an adventurer Badaron sent word about? You are. The matron be praised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Minuni, and the Caroline Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in question, there's a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I shall brief you. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and short of it. Beg pardons for interrupting, Minu, but our need grows ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward. And a good day to you, Bow Lord. Your needs must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. Good news is, your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name is Lewin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. The place was once a Gelmoran settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking the Deepcroft with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Originally, I would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deepcroft with others to flesh the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the Ixal at bay. The broodmen have grown restless as of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have been compelled to spread our forces throughout the Twelveswood, lest we be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamud. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? Deepcroft time. Everybody's excited for Deepcroft. I love the aesthetics of the enemies in Deepcroft. You have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. He will appraise you of the latest developments. That is all. Oh no, not the Deepcroft, my bad. Whatever one is like the voids inside, like the succubus and stuff, their outfits, like the flowing of their capes and stuff, that's what I'm thinking. This one is probably one with the little miniature, what are they called? Not Malbars. Ochus. Little miniature Ochus. DPS is in high demand for raids. So many tanks and healers flood it that DPS actually is offered bonus rewards now. Oh, a year ago when I first tried this, it was actually, if I played DPS, I would be waiting in queue for hours. Whereas if I was tank or healer, I'd get in right away. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. First I thought she said keep you safe, and I blundered my own steps. I'm curious if it's going to be... Oh, buffalo! If it's going to be the Ochus, or if it's going to be the nightmare creatures. You know, part of the reason I made my character an aura. Let's see, something over here too. What is this? Oh, right, that's part of the beauty quest. Poor man lost his tools. Is it going to be inside or is it going to be behind? It's going to be in the building. That's weird, my camera's not fully responding, probably because of the balcony. A message from Jandalin, you say? So he's lost another one? Ugh, does the man not understand that wood doesn't simply grow on... actually it does. At least in a manner of speaking, but the fact remains that resources are in short supply. For all his flowery words, if his tools were truly an extension of his very being, one would think he'd find a way to hold on to them for more than a fortnight or two. Jandalin's skills are not to be doubted, but his temperament leaves much to be desired. Still, it's not my place to judge. Take this to him and let us both hope that he will right his ways. I see this is a frequent occurrence for the man. He's good at creating beauty in others. He's not good at taking care of himself or his tools. Galvanth the Dominator should be... I do not know who that is. Galvanth the Dominator. It's not ringing a bell. Maybe I didn't get that far. Deepcroft is with the cultists. Let's see. Where? It intends me to be down here. Fire in the Gloom. Don't worry, I'll come back for more stuff. The Mind Flayer. Oh! Now that rings a bell. That's an enemy from Final Fantasy I. Octopus-looking face. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about it. Sometimes in order to get the brain to start, you need to jostle it a little bit. When in doubt, just give it a little shake like a snow globe. Down in here, I think. I love that they post a smith here just in case. They're like, by the way, make sure your equipment actually works before you go in. Your bread nightmare, I take it. Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bowlord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it of the Lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the Calamity to put an end to the Sixth Astral Era. The cultists took the lesser moon, Dalamud, for their god, believing that it would deliver them from devastation. Yeah, unfortunately I don't know too many of the events from 1.0, other than what we saw in the opening cutscene. And so we were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Actually, that's probably what saved you, because if it hit you with the size of a full moon, yeah, we would have a full world apocalypse from that, and all life on the planet would get wiped out again. You know, kind of what happened with our Earth and our moon. So, you know, Bahamut was actually the lesser of two evils, as weird as that sounds. Now, having seen their god turn to ash, one would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of fanaticism. But the Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say, everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is that's going on in the Deepcroft, you may be sure that no good will come of it. For the sake of Gridania and Eorzea at large, put an end to their madness. Tam-Tara Deepcroft is now available. I wish you could play on American servers with your European character. Yeah, I kind of hope that they allow people to start swapping around. I've thought about this too. If I get eventually caught up with this, I might make characters in other servers since I have the ability to do so, which will allow me to play with like other people. So I'll probably make, I think it was a Mihote that I would make in European servers, and I think it was a Viera that I was going to put in like Australian servers, but that's like a long ways ahead. Let's go with NPCs. Because it's an automatic duty register. Commence! Oh yeah, I remember this place now. But of course, the best of both worlds would be allowing people to server hop. I thought they were going to do that in the future, but maybe it'll come out with Dawn Trials or something. Oop, I need to turn tank stance on. One of new members is new to the duty. Yeah, me. Check for treasure. Haven't done these dungeons in a while. Maybe if we keep asking the developers nicely, they might consider it. Probably actually pull that in too. Come join me. Come join the carnage. I don't trust my NPCs for large pulls. But I can handle one or two extras. especially for Blue Mage, too. I expect to do that with other people. Hopping on a Discord with friends. Because I don't think it's possible to completely solo Blue Mage. You need help with other people. So I intend to either do that with IRL friends or with like people on Twitch. All the silliness of watching enemies self-destruct in my face, so I can later self-destruct in theirs. So let's change the map. Here we go. Wait. Showing this as like a thing to interact with, but clearly it is not. Can I zoom that out? There we go. Thank you. Ooh, small boss. How did I not get your attention? Get in the provoke spell. Oh, you summoned. Let me. Thank you. Wouldn't let me target it. I could hear the beep boops of futility. There we go. I was gonna say, almost dead. Don't exactly know what I got from that, actually. Didn't see it. There we go. Unbind the orb. Free it from the pondering. That's broken. Gotta go through here. Detour. I hope you aren't too bothered by this move, because you're basically going to see it this entire dungeon run as a tank. I don't have anything better yet. Oop, is there something over here? Oh, there's a new dude hiding out. Twas a thaumaturge hiding in the shadows. This goes over here, which makes me assume treasure. Yes. I'm here for duty, but also for cute outfits. Wristlets. Maybe not much else is offered yet for regular armor. It might just be mostly accessories in these lower dungeons. Yeah, it doesn't tell me what that was. I'm waiting for it to pop up, and it never does. Was it empty? Would you stay in the circle? Orb numero 2, I think. Nope, he summoned. Never mind. I got orb happy. How about this one? Anything? Maybe if I'm with NPCs, it only gives me stuff every now and again from treasure chests? As a way of keeping it fair? I don't know. Because otherwise I would be getting all the rewards. I don't have to compete with anybody else. So maybe they made it like every 3 chests or something. 3 or 4. Nope, come back. Come with me. Eyes on me. Only 2 of these. I wonder if I can get them to follow me. So they find other things. I'm trying to do bigger pulls, but there's just nothing around. Go. Maybe you guys. Combine this with this, and we might just have a tolerable crowd. As long as I keep your attention. we go. That was a little more tolerable. There we go. Plundered Grimoire. Probably won't be using that for a while. Anything else around here? Nope, there's gonna be a boss. More orbs, I take it. Or whatever these people have going on. If my mages would like to maybe not stand in the no-no zone, that'd be great. Okay, do I unseal this somehow? Probably. Probably further within. When in doubt, find the key. Find an orb to open the other orb. At least I have dungeons I can run. Off stream now. Lift the rosary? Yeah. I'm not gonna stay here forever. And learned your tricks now. I know the big one's coming. Should be the last two orbs, I would assume. Orb number 1. Treasure. Oh, now I get something. Acolyte skirt. It's for a mage, but... And orb number 2. Who summons me from the void to reside within this crude vessel? I mean, at least he acknowledges he has a squid for head. You seem surprised. Come hither, children of dawn. The undying master will drink something. I mean, I'd share a drink if it means getting out of this. Take the squid out for booze. You know, you could have just asked. Oh yeah, this enemy is from Final Fantasy XI. This would be quite nasty. Oh, I gotta take this out, don't I? That's what's causing problems. I'm like, what is the glowing purple line? Something I need to pay attention to. And now there's more of them. Come back. I have enough axe for everybody. I can indulge you all. I think he's actually based off a D&D enemy as well. Like, I know he originally was in Final Fantasy I, but like I think the enemy in FF1 was based off a D&D enemy. Brain-eating tentacle faces? Yep. I've seen a very similar enemy, and I think it was Demon Souls as well. They grab you and then they face hug you with their tentacles. But yeah, no drinks with Galvanth this time. Or he is vanquished. Plundered Reesarm? I'm guessing that's for mages as well. I think if we go over here with our party members, they like wave at us. Yeah, salute. Behold, dungeon complete. Report back to Gridania. And I'm lazy, so I'm not walking. If I feel cheap, I walk. If I feel lazy, I warp. Simple as that. We're 27, so we're getting close to being able to take part in the festivities. Welcome back. I'm reliably informed that your foray into Deepcroft was a success. Who told you? Literally, how did you find out? Who's watching me? Do that. Nor did I expect anything less. Bateron's ringing endorsement left me in a little doubt of your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Bowlord Lewin asked me to pass upon his thanks. I must say, it's something to a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. As if to illustrate the point. Avir's gone, and it's your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish my spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah, to the hells with this pathetic excuse of a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do the one thing right. Cruel though it may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by way of some parting advice, get rid of Avir's head, Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you like with it, but for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just... get rid of it, alright? Wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm sorry, Avir. Please forgive me. Yeah, expect things to get dark and messed up. Scenes like this become all too common. That makes 12 times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventures of your experience. I can send women like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much, or at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in a task, say the word, and I'll be glad to share the details with you. I mean, that is a little harsh, how they treated her with that. Oh, your friend/husband is dead? Yeah, let's all leave the party and blame you for it. Yeah, not a nice crew to be running with to begin with, so I feel for her. Oh, I get both. I thought I had to pick one. So, you're not adverse to taking a little trip. Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you to the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you'll push through unscathed. Now off you go, and good luck. See, now it's opened up to Ul'dah, but I think since I'm here, I'll probably check out a few of my other jobs that I'm working on. Cool, we're decent here. Oh, and yeah, my outfit's all white because I crafted this one myself, I think. Sometimes you can just make better things in your own time. So let's go to Botanist Guild. Should be over here. Can I not yet? Splendid, is it not? Do I need to get something first? Oh, I was still in the middle of another quest. Level 5. Deliver pots of maple sap. Which should be not too far. Tree speak. Probably wants me to leave then. So let us... Where is my sneak? You're not sneak. You're not sneak either. 12's bounty. Pioneer's gift. Maybe it won't light up while I'm here. I would assume, since it's level 5, it would be like in the central shroud. Let's actually prioritize that. Maple sap. Kind of surprised that I haven't done that. There we go. Get my sneak going so nobody sees me. Level 5 mature tree. Maybe I wanted something better first. Latex, maple branch, maple log. Maybe it's further in then. Or maybe it's with the new tool. Maybe it's going to be whatever the blue one is? Arbor Call. Surveys landscaped, highest level, mature tree. Less vegetation within range. Nope, that's not it. There was another one for... It's this one, Lay of the Land, I think. Highest level mineral deposit. So these over here. Maybe it was part of these. Because I've mostly done farming out in Ul'dah. Not as much here. Pea pods, jorum, hummus, tree toad. Just bring home a tree toad. Buffalo beans. I'll know I need some of this stuff later. But I also don't want to clog my inventory just yet. Because I am starting to run out of space. Maple sap. Where the heck is maple sap? Be further in. I would assume it'd be a tree, but, you know, games can be weird. Elm log. I'll farm some of these. Because I need them for something else. There we go. Let's look at our crafting, hunting, gathering log. Walnut log. Yew log. Elm log. Crow feather. Kookaroo bean, which looks like chocolate. Oranges, latex, maple sap. You are located at the North Shroud. I'm on the Central Shroud. This is why we have a gather log. I'm still gonna drop a little bit more elm wood though. Just because we're here. Might as well. Okay, got some of that. A little bit more for our armor and blacksmith because we needed some. Ram horns are going to be out back at Ul'dah again. Okay, there we go. It's also, forget what each one of these does. This isn't the double yield one, is it? No, but this is. Increases yield anyway. I need to rearrange those, but I digress. Let us check out North Shroud. Am I this lazy? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Whee! We have sneak. It's fine. Probably be out this way. Recall. It's gonna be over here. I'll just leave you to deal with that, sir. No worry. Pre-programmed NPCs can never die. I'm assuming one of these, level 5 mature tree, that'll probably be it. Let's get the sap. Cinnamon and beehive chips, so I don't have to purchase them anymore. They're pretty cheap though. Not so sure about Simonim. It's gonna be up top, isn't it? You're gonna make me go around. Can I even go around here? Can I? Hello? I wish to find ways around the boulders. One more tree, this should be it. There we go. Alright, return. You know, I could just walk. It's right here. It's about going to be equidistance, even if I warp. So I might as well. And that lets me take a look at what other things have too, just to double check Latex, maple branch, earth shard. Gets it logged at least. Pun intended. Because I can always come back and get a lot of this stuff in my own time, which I intend to do. Especially as soon as I'm able to unlock my retainers. There we go. Again, equidistance either way, so might as well just hoof it. Oh my, it got busy over here all of a sudden. On a quest for maple sap? Then your best bet is to search the vicinity of Treespeak. I'll happen to be waiting for delivery of the sap myself. Might you be the botanist tasked with supplying it? Sure am. Those are some nice pumpkins. Ah, the maple sap I requested. Then you must be the new botanist Fuchacha has been fussing over. Ah, but where are my manners? Thank you. Was it always pumpkins in here? I don't remember it being pumpkins last time. It seemed like a more spring setting in here. Does the inside of the Botanist Guild change with, like, actual Earth seasons? Why do I need so much stuff? Well, allow me to explain. It's the very least I can do after all you've done. Boiling maple sap causes it to thicken into a sweet syrup called, you've guessed it, maple syrup. From maple syrup, we can make maple sugar, an ingredient used in various recipes, particularly confectionaries, from cakes and tarts to toffees and chocolates. In short, all the things that children love. You've probably guessed it by now, but the maple sap you've harvested will be used to make sweets for the children, those poor souls who are orphaned by the calamity. They may put on a brave face, but their eyes reveal the depths of their sorrow. There's precious little joy left in their lives. But Brigadania won't abandon them. No matter your walk in life, there's always something you can do to help. Though it may only last a fleeting moment, a single smile of theirs is worth the effort. My apologies, I got carried away. Now where was I? Ah, yes. In addition to maple sap, we botanists gather various kinds of foodstuffs. As such, we work quite closely with culinarians, those disciples of the hand who excel at cooking. We're also in good terms with woodworkers and weavers, as both are reliant upon us to supply the lumber and fiber that they need for their respective crafts. I've started getting hiccups, oh no. As botanists, it behooves us to learn what manner of materials are used in crafting, and there's no better way to do so than firsthand. If you have an interest, you might consider dabbling in one of the disciplines out there. I also urge you to make a habit of reviewing the gathering log, the thing I had to do. As your knowledge of botany grows, more of its contents will become comprehensible to you. Well, I'd best see to the maple sap. It's lovely talking to you. For every 5th level you reach as a botanist, you will gain the ability to detect higher level materials from trees and lush vegetation. When it occurs, any new items are available through gathering will be added to your gathering log. You can use Arbor Call, which is a botanist action to help you locate the nearest mature tree or lush vegetation within your skill range. The thing you saw me doing earlier. Okay, anything good? Nope. My self-made gear is still better. I hate it when it accidentally moves the map instead of my character. I couldn't have come at a more opportune time. I have a favor to ask of you. We just received an urgent request from the Order of the Twin Adder. They asked that we supply them with 10 crow feathers as soon as possible. Crows often leave behind feathers when they perch, which can be used to make arms and armor. Requests for 10 items have been coming in with increasing regularity. The situation must be grim indeed. It would not do to keep the defenders of our nation waiting. I would be most glad if you could help me fulfill this order. Crow feathers can be found in abundance in the area south of Gilbert Spire. Once you have procured 10, simply deliver them to Cicely. I've given her charge over to our stores. Many thanks in advance. I don't actually know where that is. Crow feathers, huh? Which I have not done. Central Shroud. before I head out, I might check on the state of the other guilds. Where the heck is that thing? The crystal's over there! I just don't recall the Botanist Guild being filled with pumpkins. Maybe it was, and I just have a bad memory, but... Oh, I don't like that leather worker is like 10 levels below blacksmith and the such. Probably because the materials are harder to come by. How are your techniques coming along? If you honestly think you've improved, then I have a new task for you. But before that, let me ask you, you are familiar with the Fenuyl brand, are you not? But of course, how silly of me. Even an adventurer hailing from distant lands should know the most famous brand of leather goods in Eorzea. I guess they're like fantasy Gucci. Anyway, all goods sold under the distinguished Fenuyl are crafted by none other than the leather workers. We've been asked to fill an especially large order on short notice, so our stores of hard leather are nearly depleted. I was considering how best to handle this situation when you arrived. I'm sure you see where this is going. We need a dozen circles of hard leather as fast as you can make them. Quickly now, go! Okay, I already have 2. Let me have a look. Hard leather. Again, I don't know if it needs to be perfect or not. I guess we'll find out. Oh, I do exactly 20? Good to know. Cuts it close, but... Dang it! Sometimes when it shoots me all the way to up 100%, I don't realize it until I've already pressed the button. Especially if I'm just doing basic crafting like this. I pay more attention to the big things, but if I'm just repeating actions, I just kind of do it by hand without looking. At least it's getting me really good experience for this. It's like, that person has a really pretty outfit. I really like that outfit. I know they were only there for a second, but... Nonetheless, to call out good fashion when you see it. Me, I'm not high enough level yet to concern myself with what my fashion is. I have to pick with only what is available to me, which is not very much. Behold. Please tell me you've brought the hard leather. Well, well. These are better than I expected. It's more difficult to boil leather than it is to tan it, but the process results in a stronger, more durable product. These properties make hard leather the material of choice for those who prefer stouter armor. The fruits of your labor shall serve the guild well as training materials for new initiates. Oh. You seem troubled. Surely you did not imagine that your leather would be used in the construction of Fenuyl goods. Ha! Oh gods, no. Only our elite leather workers, handpicked by me, are permitted to make wares that bear the Fenil name. While we had enough hard leather to complete the Fenil commission, some of the materials used, despite being of excellent quality, were originally intended to be distributed as practice materials. As such, the initiate's supplies ran dangerously low. Come now, there is no call to be disheartened. Do you not see that in furnishing the beginners with supplies, you have proven that you are no longer a beginner? You have given them that which they could not make themselves. When you first arrived, well, if they can't make it themselves, they're probably not worthy to be making Fenil products, but I digress. When you first arrived, I would never have entrusted you with such a task. Make no mistake, you are improving. Why, at this rate, my great-great-grandchildren may yet commission you to take a shoe sole, or even two. She's so mean. Speaking of commissions, I think you've proven yourself sufficiently skilled to handle orders without my supervision. Go and see Gontrant at the Carline Canopy if you're interested in taking a few guild leaves. You would gain much-needed experience and earn yourself some coin besides. But enough chatter. Come and see me again when you have further refined your technique. Oh, and if you make it during my lifetime, I dare say you'll find me in a more talkative mood. It's not how much you talk, it's what you say. And the next one isn't for... What is up with the guild leaders? They're all such jerks. Some are nice, but some are just aggravating. I'm gonna make a couple more of these, just because one, I'll probably need it, and two, if I can boost my experience up enough, I can potentially take on the next quest, since I'm right here. I know you were a goldsmith, weren't you, Radir? So you're used to the very bubbly, excitable, and nice guild leader. Mine is, she has a little pest for a companion, but at least the guildmaster herself doesn't make you feel bad. Yeah, GG. GG is a little bit of a jackass, yeah. But he's also a marmot, so he might not be able to be programmed to be anything else. There! Ta-da! Ah, you couldn't have come at a better time. We urgently need someone to craft a pair of hard leather caligae and a hard leather choker. Do you think you could handle both? To explain the situation, I had entrusted the commission to another leather worker, but found the quality of his work so wholly unacceptable that I had no choice but to demand that he start again. Naturally, I gave the fellow a sound dressing down, reminded him that he had dishonored the name Fenil and so on, only for him to run off bawling, leaving a trail of snot and tears in his wake. Needless to say, I was more than a little concerned. After all, there was a very real possibility I was going to have to keep a customer waiting, but thanks to your timely arrival, everything will be put to rights. As I've already mentioned, I need you to craft the 2 articles in your overly sensitive colleague's stead. This will be your first task undertaken for Fenil Fineries. This is an opportunity for a few leatherworkers receive. See that you don't squander it. What is it? Troubled by the crushing weight of expectation? Well, you may cast your fears aside. You've done enough credit thus far, carrying out my instructions with nary a complaint and taking all my criticism on the chin. I know you won't shame us. And even should worst come to worst, I know you'll have the good grace to go before the customer and apologize in person. But enough talk. You'd best get started if you're to complete the order on time. Yeah, remember when I first started this game, like in my first playthrough, I mentioned to you that, like, all the NPCs were being mean to me? Does it make sense now, seeing me do the Disciples of Hand quests? Okay, I need crafting log. Leather choker and leather caligae. If I'm even pronouncing that right. hard leather caligae. They're boots. I need bronze rivets and beast sinew. I don't have any beast sinew. Maybe they sell some. I know you can buy it in some places. Animal hide. Yeah, there we go. A little expensive, but whatever. Bronze rivets. I need more bronze rivets. The overarching bad guys of A Realm Reborn are nicer and more polite than the guild leaders. They really kind of are. Okay, let's try that again. Beast sinew, bronze rivets, and hard leather. Make some shoes. Let's get some shoes. Okay. And now a choker. It's at the very bottom. That's easy. One more beast sinew. Okay, did I make the right things this time? Hard leather choker. Deliver a pair of hard leather caligae. Is that not what I made? Hard leather choker. Maybe I can deliver it now, I don't know. 2 pieces already, you say? That remains to be seen. I'm used to it changing before it lets me hand them over. Used to that turning green. The leather used is well made, and the articles look as they should. The construction is solid, good. As you know, this type of leather is valued for its toughness and durability, yet the same qualities make it troublesome to work. As inexperienced leather workers often ruin the material with shoddy stitching and poor molding, resulting in a final product that is misshapen, brittle, and liable to fall apart. Your caligae and choker, however, bear none of the hallmarks of amateurism. Your construction is solid, and your leather has retained its strength. You have grown considerably as a leather worker. Your latest creations attest to this. But you still have some ways to go. The clasps aren't securely fastened, and the stitching needs to be tighter. In short, you must learn to pay more attention to the details. These articles aren't quite fit to be placed into the customer's hands, but they can be salvaged. You have done your part well enough. I will see to the rest. In the meantime, I would have you attend to something else. It is an important duty, and one that's all too often overlooked by artisans, namely, taking responsibility for falling short of expectations. In the guild's reception area, you will find an Uldan gentleman named Sosabadi, one of our regular customers. It is he who placed the order for the caligae and choker. I would have you go and kneel in apology for the delay. Unironically go bow your head to the floor to the customer. My son's name's day is fast approaching, so I thought I would gift him with the finest protectives money can buy, and none are finer than the realm of Fenyiel. Oops. Gotta get over here. Kneel to the customer. Get on his level. The yelling for my aura makes it seem more like I'm getting onto my knees to talk to like a little kid. Huh? What in the name of the 12 are you doing? Do get up! What's that? My order is delayed, you say? Is that all? And here I was thinking something terrible had happened. It's quite alright, truly. I came here precisely because of the Leatherworkers Guild has never compromised on quality. The trifling delay only confirms to me that the principle still endures. Anyway, it's very kind of you to bring me the word. By the by, your face isn't familiar to me. Are you new to the guild? So Geva herself is applying the finishing touches to your handiwork even as we speak? Well, I dare say the guildmaster sees promise in you. Why else would she consider your work worthy of her personal attention? She's famous for having cut up far more experienced leatherworkers' efforts for scraps, and that's before their very eyes. As far as encouraging you to come up and apologize, some may think that Geva goes too far, but it's simply her way of educating her own on the finer points of business. As a native of Ul'dah, I may say with some confidence that it's an education worth enduring. I mean, it kind of goes against her policy, waste not, want not, but... Well, it's been a pleasure to meet a rising star of the Leatherworkers Guild, and that is no hollow flattery I speak. Your name is Nightmare, yes? I shall observe your career here with great interest. In fact, the next time I place an order of the Fenniel fineries, I shall make a point of insisting that you are given the job. When the customer treats you better than your boss. Anyway, Leatherworker's done for now. I need to level it up in my own time. Let's check for better stuff. Equip. Alright, Carpenter. You're next. Had to remember Carpenter's next to the main crystal. This way. Down and around. Don't get stuck. Yeah, Beaton, for example, isn't too bad. He can be a goofball in quests outside of his carpenter job. I see by the way you're wearing your saw blade that you've not neglected your carpentry since we last spoke. Very good. You will soon be ready for your third and final test. In the meantime, the guild has need of your services. Are you familiar with ash wood? But of course you are. I bid you craft me ash lumber. A simple task, you say? Then you shan't have trouble crafting me 12 lengths. This is no jest. We used our last mere moments ago. You see, this assignment is motivated purely by practical concerns. I would ordinarily handle such a trifling task myself, of course, but I'm feeling unwell, and I do believe that you would benefit from the practice. Now go and do not disappoint me. Ash lumber, which needs ash wood. Do I even have ash wood? No. Can I buy ash logs? My camera is stuck in the shrubs. Wait a minute. Don't I need obsidian for something else? Quest complete. Ash log, there we go. He wanted me to make how many? Ash lumber. Okay. 12, 2, 4, 6, 36. And it begins again. Carpenter Masterclass. Are you hype because this is what you do in real life now? Redir, Master of Cabinets. Hey man, every business needs cabinets. It's a good, honest trade. And I think you would like this Guildmaster. I think he would fit your sense of humor. Especially if you've ever seen him dance, or attempt to dance. You brought a weapon to the Sacred Wood dance? Oh, the elementals will be so mad! And his weapon is literally just the saw he uses for his trade, but he was dancing with it, so he got yelled at. Which, to be fair, you probably shouldn't dance with the saw for your own personal safety. But I digress. His was more that he had it on his hip and he got yelled at. Granted, I'm also well aware that you're engrossed in Baldur's Gate at the moment. For your afternoon leisure of choice. But maybe when Dawn Trials comes out, you might consider giving it a go. Since I'm the one that's behind. Everybody else has finished Endwalker, and then there's me. Still in the Realm Reborn. Attempting to omniclass like a goofball. Two more. Oops. It's okay, I'm still working on just background stuff. I haven't unlocked all the things to even hang out with other people yet. I don't want you to have to renew your subscription just to watch me literally carve wood. But eventually I'll get up there where I'm far enough along the story that there's actually things to do with other people. As is, I'm still largely in the single player portion though. Once I start unlocking dungeons and get the ultimates to open up, then of course it's gonna be a no holds barred, everybody come on in sort of deal. Anybody that follows. Because we'll take whatever we can get. Ah, you've brought the ash lumber? I just need to actually, you know, play the game! Turns out in order to progress through games, you actually need to play the games. What a concept. Such a prodigious quantity. Thank you, child. You have done your guild a great service. Ash lumber is renowned for its unparalleled flexibility. This quality makes it ideal for use in bows and a myriad of other weapons. By the same token, ash lumber is easily worked, and thus ideal for learning the basics of our craft. Such a versatile material is understandably popular, and so we always have need of more. It may also interest you to know that ash possesses certain medicinal properties. Tea brewed from its bark eases various complaints. Complaints such as that which I am presently afflicted. Suffice to say, I am pleased to see that your lumber is dusted with a sufficiency of bark fragments, but let us return to the subject of carpentry. You've proven yourself more than capable of working without my guidance. If you wish to make your crafts to others, speak with the Gontrent in the Carline Canopy. He has an abundance of guild leaves waiting to be fulfilled. Continue to refine your skills, are you okay? And return to me when you're ready to take the next step. Alright, what is an ash that's causing him to do this? This is one I'm not as familiar with. I know we can make aspirin from, like, willow bark, but I'm not sure what would be an ash wood that's causing him to, have near fainting episodes. Potentially something to do with blood pressure? Well met. Your training as a carpenter is almost complete. Indeed, I had a splendid final test prepared for you. Alas, the plight of one of our guild's newer members demands my attention. The boy named Mara Pamera, and he's an adventurer like you, though one of rather less promise. Something troubles the lad, yet he's loath to speak of personal matters with me, though I am the very soul of understanding, as you know. Mayhap you would fare better? I sense that he may be more inclined to speak with a fellow adventurer. Now go, and do not disappoint me. He's just... hello? He's sitting on the ground in the... Sir, that is where people leave their shoes. God strike me down for a fool. I'll never finish in time. Please, you must help me. You can make ash short bows and feathered harpoons, can't you? You see, I went and forgot that I'd agreed to craft 2 weapons for the Archers and Lancers Guild for delivery no later than, well, today. But today I'm also obligated to complete an order of 100 lengths of oak lumber. The point being that I can't possibly do both, and Timbermaster Beaton is a veritable terror when wrath is on him. If I dare neglect either duty, he surely will not spare me his saw. So while I labor over lumber, might you contest the craft the goods for the guild? Thank you, and when you finish them, I appreciate if you could deliver the weapons to the relevant guild masters. Godspeed. Okay. Okay, this one I like better. This one, it actually gives me the 2 separate categories instead of having it listed as one. I don't know why the other ones did it separately, but maybe based off of when the quest came out. I don't know. Okay, feathered harpoon. Let's see what it needs. And a ash short bow. These are maple, so I'm assuming ash is the next step up. Maple longbow, ash short bow. I need an ash branch and another ash lumber. And then the feathered harpoon, which is here. Ooh, I need a crow feather, a soiled femur, animal glue. Well, that's a whole lot of stuff besides just carpentry. Crow feather, soiled femur, animal glue. I probably get the crow feather. Bone chip, soiled femur. Oops. Animal glue, animal glue. Okay, I'm also gonna need 6 ash logs. Oops. I think. I assume it was 1 each. If I'm wrong, then we'll find out. Although, something I noticed with the Dawn Trials trailer, and no spoilers, don't worry, is that they upped the requirements for PCs for the new graphics patch that's going to come out, and they kind of even made a joke about it on stage that PS4 might start to chug really, really bad, and that's something that happened with Genshin as well with the most recent updates. Playing Genshin on PS4 just chugs now, so, ooh, I'm kind of concerned. They kind of made the joke like, oh, maybe try getting Xbox Series S or PS5. There's other games we make. Like, very cheeky. That's a funny way to say that it's gonna run with problems, isn't it? Thankfully, my PC's powerful enough that it'll be fine. But kind of like with Genshin, I did have to switch over to PC. Attempting to Genshin on PS4 is not going to be a good time. I can. I don't think anybody would appreciate it. Deliver a short bow. Ash short bow. Oh, I need to get an ash branch. That's right. Forgot the ash branch. I keep speaking to the wrong guy because my brain associates man behind counter to man selling things. Why do you make him stand in the corner? Why can't he also work at the counter? I need to deliver it to somebody. I'm taking it to the wrong place. Thinking I need to... Yes, I know what I need to do. I need to see it on the map. I need to know where I'm going. Going to... Yeah. That guild over there. Delivery is done. I just need to be able to, you know, make it. You're not it. Who, you? I don't think that's right. It's report to Lucine. Oh wait, yes it is. Welcome, adventurer. To what do I owe the pleasure? This is the Ash Short Bow we ordered. Thank you for delivering it. One of our Mihote recruits has been struggling, lest you wonder. Talented though she is, the longbow we furnished her does not suit a Mihote's shorter arms and slighter frame. But I dare say the short bow, with its lighter draw weight and more modest span, should help her reach her true potential. Indeed, short bows not unlike this were favored by our ancestors, and some things never change. It's clear to me that a great deal of care went into the short bow's construction. I'll see that our recruit spares no effort in making the most of this boon. Maybe the other one does go here then? I'm not sure. I kind of feel like that's a different quest. Because it is. This one goes to the Lance Guild, and I gotta make sure I talk to the right person and don't initiate the wrong quest. Well met, adventurer. You do not seem to be here for training. Ah, the feathered harpoon. My thanks for the delivery. Had we not received it in time, I was considering using a fisherman's harpoon instead. You seem surprised. I take it you're not aware that the harpoons we use in battle were born from the humble fisherman's tools? Aye, when Hurrian fishers migrated to inland from the coast, they adapted the tools of their trade for use in the hunting of game. The resulting harpoon proved a fearsome weapon indeed, and so the lancers of old took to their own. Hard to believe, is it not? I must say, this harpoon is a particularly impressive piece of craftsmanship. My compliments to the carpenter. And report back to Beaton. And then I think that's mostly it for hand proficiency, at least here. I mean, I'll need crow feathers. Wait a minute. I can just buy crow feathers. How kind of you to assist Mira Primera with the orders. The guildmaster spoke highly of your craftsmanship as well. This is very good. Do not attempt to mislead me. I know full well that it was your work. Needless to say, it was necessary to punish the Lalafell. I seem to spend more time sawing apprentices than would as of late. I jest, of course. My saw is wasted on an apprentice. The stink of blood lingers, making it hard to focus on work. This I know. I will admit, I was not ignorant of Mira Primera's situation. In fact, I recognized an opportunity to test your character. You aided your fellow carpenter with no prospect of reward, delivering finely crafted goods when there was merely serviceable ones would have sufficed, and then you claimed no credit. I am proud of you. There is no doubt in my mind that your talent will serve the nation of Gridania well, and save many lives. Just as they will bring about many deaths. This is the responsibility of all who make weapons. But a choice between the death of our people and the deaths of our enemies is no choice at all. You have passed the third and most final test. Congratulations. By your actions have demonstrated your understanding of what it means to know the wood. Be the wood and to love the wood. You possess the knowledge, skill, and compassion necessary to master carpentry. By overcoming these trials, you have proven that you're no longer a novice. The sapling is well on its way to becoming a tree. You are now a true carpenter of the oak atrium. Know, though, that however refined your skills may be, there will always be more to learn. Represent us well in your travels, and return to us often. You shall always be welcome. Let's go with the money. Redeer, please. Okay, so let's buy 10 crow feathers. You are not the man I wish to see. I keep thinking that he's the merchant and he's not. Okay. Speak with so-and-so, it'll deliver crow feathers. Botanist. You're fine, you're fine. Is it just like... Oh, I could have sworn it was raining in here. And I'm like, why are they shooting off fireworks in the rain? But no. You're helping us out again? My thanks, friend. In case you've forgotten, the crow feathers can be found in the area of Gilbert's Spire. Or at the, Carpentry Guild. Ah, the crow feathers. You have my thanks. Doubtless to say you know this from Fucha, but the Order of the Twain Adder is the one who requested the feathers. If I heard it true, they're in the midst of preparing for a war against the Ixal. The crow feathers are needed to make arms and armor, feathered harpoons, plumed yellow crooks, and the like. It's a fine feeling being able to do our part and aid those men and women who defend our nation. But to need such a large stockpile of feathers, it gives me pause to imagine the bloodshed that lies ahead. Will the Trollswood ever truly know peace? Honestly, 10 feathers is not a huge order, especially in terms of making arrows for bows. Oh, but there I go again with my wistful ramblings. Feel free to ignore them. Now, before I forget, Fufucha asked me to give you something on her behalf, a scythe. The scythe is what they call a secondary tool. Used in your offhand, it allows you to harvest from lush vegetation in addition to the mature trees you already know so well. That Fufucha has seen it fit to make this gift to you is proof of your progress. You are no longer a novice, my friend. I dare say you're ready to try your hand at fieldcraft leaves. Perhaps even take on a grand company work. If they would let me in. But first, I recommend you head to the wood and find some lush vegetation to try that new scythe on. Off you go now, and come back when you're ready to take on another task for the guild. I think I already... Yeah, I probably already have these. Perception 20, but it goes down from what I have, so... I'm wearing the coiffure, I just have it hidden because it's so ugly. Hang on. Yeah, I'm technically wearing this headpiece, but what is that? What is that? I look like I dissected a volleyball and stuck it on my head. No. No, thank you. Ah, my dear, you're looking ever more like a botanist. I do believe that you're ready to take on further responsibilities for the guild. Guilds such as ours only exist by virtue of the cooperation of their members. Each individual must set an example for the rest of the collective so to thrive. The time has come for you to set such an example. As the matter has arisen, the handling of which I would entrust wholly to you, you may deal with it as you see fit, providing you see the problem solved. The matter in question concerned a valued client of ours, the merchant Abagast. It would appear one of our members has done something to upset him. Pray seek to the merchant at the ebony stalls and inquire after the reason for his ire. Oh, and choose your words well, lest you add fuel to the fire. Talk to the already angry customer and see what he wants. I'll head back to this one. And then warp myself down to the conjurers. I'm guessing branches, maybe? Since that's what they make their wands out of? Well met, adventurer. You and Stilgling Fane hope to the Conjurers Guild. You're not the person I'm meaning to be talking to. We conjurers harness the power of earth, wind, and water that are found in nature and thereby weave spells, healing, and protection. Ever do we seek noble souls to initiate into our mysteries? Might you be such a soul to come join the guild? Nope. My apologies. No doubt you wish to remain wholly dedicated to your current pursuit. Should you ever long to become one with all creation, I invite you to return here. It's never too late to learn about the forces that surround us. You are not the person I was trying to go to. I saw this and immediately assumed too much. The ebony stalls are over here. I am in the wrong place entirely. Whoops. My bad. I saw the spark and made an assumption. I need to go down to the marketplace. I still have not unlocked retainers. We're running out of room. Futosha sent you, did she? Good. I'm not a man to mince words, so forgive me if I'm blunt. You know what Majorum is? Of course I do. But of course you do. You're a bleeding botanist. The very common ingredient in alchemy, isn't it? Very common. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you botanists supposed to be the experts in harvesting such stuff? Yes, you are. Strange then that this expert who brought me the last batch of fresh Majorum didn't so much as harvest the poor plants as dismember them. Why, the leaves were so torn up I couldn't recognize what they were at first. Needless to say, they're next to useless. So thanks to your herb-hacking colleague, I have no Majorum to make my concoctions, which is why I inquired to your guild, only to be told you are out of supplies, and here we are. Now if it ain't too much trouble, I would be obliged if you could bring me 10 sprigs of fresh Majorum. And I'd please like them whole, as opposed to the fine bleeding puree your butchering colleague delivered. Truth be told, I don't much care for your hatchet-happy friend. What I do care about is not keeping my customers waiting for the medicine. In short, hurry. Oh, and for the love of the gods, be gentle with the plants, will you? I shouldn't have to say it, but after the last bloke, I'm not taking any chances. Don't deliver shredded lettuce. Got it. Majorum was out. It's mistletoe. Beehives. Nuts. Matron's mistletoe. Where is... Maybe I haven't encountered it yet. That might end up getting logged in my own time, then. Journal. Haste makes waste. 10 springs. Around the Matron's Leaf. Sure. I totally know what that is. Matron's Leaf. Matron's Leaf. Nope, not. Matrons. Ooh, I haven't been around there. 9 Ives. Bramble Patch. Nope. South Shroud. Haven't been to South Shroud. North Shroud. Matron. I don't know where that is. Alright then. Fresh marjoram is on hold. So with that, let us sliver bronze, chunks of obsidian. It's gonna be an Ul'dah. I guess we're going to Ul'dah. So let us... I don't think there's anything else here that I can do in the meantime. Alright. Ul'dah. Nasi, Karthus, Mordon, Thaneland. Whee! Here we go! We're off to... Assuming this is a tavern. Momodi. Welcome to the quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now. If you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Judging by your determined expression, I take it you aren't here for ale. Are you called Nightmare by any chance? Muni sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? The petitioner ought to be arriving at any moment now. Gods almighty, another second under the sun and I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you'd be so kind. Excellent timing. Papashan, it just so happens the adventurer who will be handling your petition is here. So this winsome person is the much-lauded adventurer, are they? Marvelous, marvelous. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Papashan, formerly of the Sultan Sworn. I thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid. Mayhap you'd like to appraise them of their mission? Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine, Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development of the Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. The giants are of the clan known as the Hecaton Chairs. That's one of Vanille's summons, actually. That's what Vanille summons in Final Fantasy XIII. Hecaton Chair. Fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn Dynasty. Alas, it seems they've managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of their ancestors, and the presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's no wonder they're so angry. Didn't the Thorn Dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. The people of that age used the Hecaton Chairs to work the mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will, but as off the way of such tales, the enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecaton Chairs, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels, so as that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well now, that got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight ago or so. It said that the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rising demand for building materials. Like it or not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them dangerous to us all. There'll be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is not for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbell Mines are in the western Thanalam. Do take care, you hear. And one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina and Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell Copperbell Mines well. It may behoove you to ask its counsel. Alright, next is... It says it's over here. I'm confused. Oh yeah, he's right there. My bad, I'm like, I see the thing, but I don't see the thing. I was confused, like I needed to go outside. Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So you're the adventurer who volunteered to deal with the mess down in the Copperbell, are you? You've got guts. I just hope you've got skill to go with them, because things ain't pretty down there. The Hecaton chairs have left the place in a right state, and nary a week after the Magnon resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second UI dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would have never thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the prospect went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, our nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt, for want of aught to build with. The stone torches are keeping watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. Hope of the nation is resting on you, friend. Best of luck. Okay. Copperbell Mines are going to be over there. There's also some stuff we can do around here. I think. Where the heck are those darn warp stones? Right in front of me, okay. Let's go to Miner. Get that obsidian delivered. This way. Remember, it's 10 pieces of obsidian we need. You'll have the best luck searching around the hammers in Western Thanalan. Or just buying them again. This is some fine obsidian. The concern will be well pleased. In case you're wondering, the spoils of your labor are bound for the Colosseum. I'm told there's to be an exhibition featuring ancient arms. One of these is the... Makuhuatl? A wood sword with shards of obsidian embedded in its edge. I wouldn't know, I'm not a sword person. Before man learned to work metal, he used various kinds of stone to craft blades as his weapons. Obsidian was among the most coveted, thanks to the razor-sharp edge it could achieve. These days, of course, blades are commonly forged of steel, and obsidian has fallen out of favor, but there's still folk out there willing to pay good coin for it nevertheless. An ambitious young miner, you'll do well to pay attention to such customers. Make the efforts to stay abreast of demand, and your efforts will be more than richly rewarded. Is that guy over there okay? He looks like he's like barely hanging onto the table. You continue to impress with your progress. It's past time you learned how to use a sledgehammer. As if I haven't been using one this whole time. It's a secondary tool used in conjunction with the pickaxe. Thus equipped, you'll be able to break outcrops of bedrock and get to precious minerals within. Well, what are we waiting for? Go ahead and find a rocky outcrop and give that sledgehammer of yours a swing. I've been searching high and low for you. You have a visitor, and no ordinary one at that. I speak of Deep Canyon Vice Foreman of Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern, again with them. All in one episode. It seems word of your sizable haul of obsidian has reached his ears, and now he wishes to meet with you. I can only speculate as to his intentions, I'm afraid. We haven't spoken much as of late. Truth be told, I've scarcely seen him. And you'd never know it, but we used to be close. Anyway, I suggest you go and find the man. Find out what he wants from you. He's waiting by the entrance. You must be Nightmare. I've been waiting for you. I'm Deep Canyon, Vice Foreman of the concern. I must say, you're not what I was expecting. Yeah, I know, I'm tiny. I was sure Adelberta's newest protege would be Alamegan, like every other miner in this place produces these days, but I'll wager you're from even further afield, and that you're an adventurer. Well, considering the background lore I'm building for this character, he's not wrong. No offense, but in these parts, adventurers are known for being fickle buggers who break pledges like the rest of us break bread. Truth be told, I've always wondered whether you lot are actually good for Ul'dah. But it seems you're not like the others. It takes more than a job in miner to deliver an order from the concern. I've mind to assign you work. Real work. But before I do, I'm obliged to test you. I want you to produce 10 ounces of cinnabar for me. Do this, and we'll talk more about your lucrative undertakings. Of course, a bit of cinnabar shouldn't pose much trouble for the guild's rising star. 'Tis but a formality. And speaking of formalities, be sure to tell the guildmaster about your little test. She's the one in charge around here, after all. I won't have it said that I'm undermining her authority. Oh my gosh, someone who requests proof but also still agrees that the guildmaster is the guildmaster? Oh my gosh, that is a cute bunny. A test from Deep Canyon, you say? I thought as much. In case you didn't know, cinnabar is the mineral used to make quicksilver. It's found in certain types of rock, and you invariably need a sledgehammer to get at it. Now, I don't mind to dampen your spirits, but contrary to what you were told, cinnabar isn't easy to find. In fact, it's known to elude even experienced miners, and here you are tasked with procuring 10 ounces of the stuff. Mind the mercury. Safe to say, this test is no mere formality. I may not be able to help you dig, but I can point you in the right direction. Search just outside of the Sunrise Gate, at the pointy outcrops thereabout are known to yield cinnabar. 10 ounces may sound like nothing, but take it from me, you'll have to work for every one. This is a big task, but I believe you're equal to it. I think I probably already have the cinnabar. I do. I do have the cinnabar. Because I've already been mining in that area a lot. I've been doing a lot of mining in Botany and Ul'dah. I want 10 ounces of cinnabar, not one less, and make it quick. I've got other commissions I need seeing to. Yeah, he needs 10. I have 100. It begins. Well, the full amount. Congratulations, you've passed the test. Seems you've got even more potential than I've been led to believe. This guild is no place for someone of your talent. I'd make you my personal assistant, but sadly for you, the position's not open to adventurers. Why? Because the concern only employs those whose roots are firmly planted in Ul'dah. Our nation owes much of its prosperity to the mine and trade, but more and more we see outsiders growing fat off the knowledge of our forebears. Oh, I know full well that there's decent foreigners out there who give as much as they get, yourself for one, but ultimately what belongs to Ul'dah should stay in Ul'dah hands. Of course, the current guildmaster doesn't share our way of thinking, which is something I dare say we'll need to see about correcting before long. Might be his business is good, but 'tis better to be short-handed than to watch others make it off our wealth. But we're talking about you. You've proven yourself capable, and the concern will have work for you in the coming days. Depend on it. Before I go, here's some free advice from me. Pay more attention to your gear. What you wear and wield affects how you work. Even a decent pair of gloves can make a world of difference. Take my word for it. These things cost money, 'tis true, but what's the price of a pair of gloves compared to the untold wealth that lies out there waiting to be dug up? Bugger all, that's what. And on that note, I'll be off. I don't doubt we'll meet again soon, assuming you stick with the trade long enough, that is. Certain gear grants bonuses to your gathering perception, yada yada. Higher gathering rate improves your chances of obtaining an item. Greater perception raises the amount of items obtained, and additional GP increases your extracting stamina. Outfitting yourself with an eye to your objectives will increase the efficacy of your gathering endeavors. Kind of been through that already, but we get the point. I've also made all my own gear as of right now, so it's better than what he's offering. I hear you passed the Vice Foreman's test. Well done. I never doubted that you manage it, but I'm proud of you, all the same. Tell me, did the Deep Canyon have any words of advice for you by any chance? I see. In case you're wondering, the Vice Foreman used to be a miner himself, but more than that, he used to be my mentor. My father was a miner too, but he died in a cave-in when I was but a child. The guild has been my home ever since, and its members my family. I grew up here watching girls sing and dance on that very stage. I even joined them for a while. It seemed the best way to please my adopted family. I didn't want to become a miner back then, you see. After what happened to my father, I could scarcely face the thought of spending a moment underground, never mind a lifetime. Not that the stage suited me much better, which left what exactly? Having been surrounded by miners as long as I can remember, I began to wonder if I truly belonged with them. I even considered leaving. It was then that one of the guild's brightest and best took me by the hand and showed me the joys of mining. I speak, of course, of Deep Canyon. He taught me everything he knew, which was a great deal, and the more I learned of mining, the closer I felt to my father. I owe a lot to Deep Canyon, despite how things turned out. But I'm rambling. I meant to only tell you that the man knows what he's talking about when it comes to mining, at least. Now it's high time I taught you something. You're here to learn, after all. It concerns the Vice Foreman's advice to you. He speaks true. A miner who neglects his gear can hope to work to his full potential. In the past, if you wanted to improve your gear, you had little choice but to replace it. But these days, we have materia. If your confused expression means I take it you're not familiar with the stuff, well then, I reckon a lesson is in order. Simply put, materia is a kind of crystal that enhances the properties of equipment it's attached to. The attachment process is fairly simple, but you won't always be the case. Time was you needed substances called catalysts, and digging the stuff up once formed a healthy part of a miner's workday. Now, even though no one needs catalysts anymore, there's still educational merit in the gathering. To that end, I want you to try your hand at mining a variety of it, namely Grade 1 carbonized matter. 15 fragments ought to do. You'll have the best luck searching around Deneville Checkpoint, over in Middle of Nossi. Oh, and you'll most definitely need your sledgehammer. Well, that's a ways off, and it's something I do actually have to mine, so let's change gear, and then let's change class. Goldsmith, sorry to forget about you. I'm so sorry, sir. Please don't. Oh, it's you. For a moment there, I thought my heart was going to fail me. I thought the angry miner had returned. Gigi wasn't pleased with the ore that the miner brought in, you see, and he made the sentiment clear, in the only way he knows how. There was mention of the miner's mother and an edel goat. Oh, never mind all that. I have an urgent task for you. We've just received an order from a prestigious quantity of copper rings, and I'd like you to handle it. There's so much going on in this room right now. Now, this is an honest-to-God's commission. You have to satisfy a paying customer, not your kind and lovely guildmaster. But I believe that you can do more than simply satisfy. Now the customer's waiting, so I do my best to get you started on the copper rings. When you're ready, come and show them to me, just for good measure. It's not going to involve a burro like what Gigi suggested, is it? Because I'm not doing it. Yes, I know very dirty words in Spanish. Don't ask. What does she want again? Copper rings. Copper. Oh, that's all level 4? Oh my. This is one of those neglected classes, isn't it? I need 8. Copper ingot. Let's buy some more copper. 36 again. This is why it's so unbalanced. Need 3 of these I want to make. Copper rings, I need only 1 of each, so I'll just make 12 again. Now I know why my copper was so out of sync with my tin. It's because copper ingots don't use any tin. Alright. Because the tin is to make bronze, but this is pure copper. That's why. That's why my inventory got kerfuffled. I'm moving over here where it's a little less noisy. With this little marmot that's doing the sorting. I remember Goldsmith is one of those ones that needs like way more materials than other classes too. A lot of other classes use the same material over and over, blacksmith, armor, etc. They occasionally need something different, but Goldsmith is one of those ones that like is like, yeah, we have literally hundreds of ingredients and you're probably going to use them only once each. To be fair, Culinarian is like that too. Heading home? Alright. Thanks for stopping by, Redear. Try that again. I do kind of wish there was a way to make this a little faster, but MMOs, you pay for your time playing, so I can kind of see why they do it the way they do. Last one. I just noticed that's what's sitting back. I am losing my ability to talk, but sitting back there is a crown. I've never noticed that before. So are things ready yet? They're in here somewhere. Damn. Trying to do this with one hand. Because I'm trying to get a drink. Neat, GG. Copper rings have seen worse. Oh, Gigi, must you always be so... Wait a minute. Did you just say you've seen worse? That's a good as compliment coming from him. I mean, when you consider what a scathing critic he usually is, perhaps the fact he's not saying anything more insulting is a sign he likes it. After all, he's called your previous work utter garbage and an affront to the gods themselves. I half expected him to call these rings abysmal failures. Oh, I should probably take this opportunity to teach you a thing or two about what you made. Copper rings are, rings made out of copper. They can be used to make chains and, chainmail. You probably knew all that. Anyway, I would like you to deliver these rings to the client personally. I would handle it myself, but I believe it's very important that you learn how to deal with the customers firsthand. The client is a Sultan Swarm named Robert, who would be waiting outside the guild right about now. I told him he could wait inside, but he said he didn't want to distract the goldsmiths at their work. Neither that I would mind a distraction like that. I take it you like him, huh? You're a goldsmith, aren't you? Did Mistress Serendipity send you? Yes, these all serve nicely. Keeping the Sultana from harm is perilous business, you see, and we Sultan Swarm can never have enough supplies to keep our equipment in serviceable condition. You may inform Serendipity that she can expect full payment soon, and that I send her my fondest regards. How'd it go? What did he say about me? I mean, about your work? Oh yeah, someone has a crush. Anyway, seeing as well as this has how your first commission went, I have high hopes for those to come. In fact, why don't we speak with Eustace down at the quicksand and see what work is available for a goldsmith? Yes, I believe you're quite ready to handle the commissions independent of my supervision. Take yourself to the Adventurers Guild and try on a task or two. You would not believe what just happened. Gigi touched my bottom. I was assisting with one of my goldsmiths when he reached out and grabbed it without warning. Then he has the gall to say that my bottom lacks sufficient shape and tone. I feel so violated and insulted. I'm glad Robert wasn't here to... Oh, that reminds me. Robert was back again with another commission. This time he wants a pair of fang earrings and a brass gorget made. And not just by a goldsmith, mind you. He specifically requested the artisan who crafted the copper rings. It's you! He must be really impressed by your work. When the accessories are ready, pray present them for my inspection. I want to ensure that Robert is completely satisfied. Yeah, well, when the Marmot's original owner is an old crotchety man, I guess... Well, yeah. On the bright side, you can dropkick it. Anyway, present a pair of fang earrings and a brass gorget. Well, I've made fang earrings before, because I think I'm wearing some. Yep, I have made them before. I need a bat fang, though. A brass ingot, hard leather, and a bat fang. Actually, I can make this right now. No, I cannot. What am I missing? Yes, I can. Okay, brass gorget. Right below, that's good. Hard leather. 2 brass ingots and hard leather. Hopefully I can just buy another hard leather. Can I? Because I don't think I have the means to make another one. Maybe I do, probably don't. There's leatherworker. Nope. Out of leather. This person's behind the counter. Okay. I think it said it wanted 2. Maybe not. If not, just deal with it later. Sit down in here. Nope, that's something else. Brass gorget. There we go. Did I not get 2 bronze? I need to craft them into bronze ingots, don't I? What did I purchase? Have I lost my mind? Bronze. Rag whetstone. Ingots. Brass ingots. I need bronze, not brass, I think. Silver ingot. Okay, I'm losing my noodle here. What am I trying to make? Brass. Yes, I'm trying to make brass. I must have bought bronze when I was trying to buy brass. That's what happened. I see the mistake. I don't like the mistake, but I acknowledge it. Okay, rain back online. should be able to speak to Serendipity now. Brass gorget, check. Pair of fang earrings. Should be check. How are the earrings and the gorget coming along? I don't want to keep Robert waiting. Impressive work! You clearly have an affinity for brass. The fine touches on the earrings in particular are... Thanks, brass. This presents a dilemma. I should not like these items, but they feel fresh. Your numerous mistakes, when taken together, give them an endearing quality. I am reminded of Serendipity. Her meager bosom and untoned buttocks are... Gigi! I'll have you know my bosom is quite ample and my bottom is as firm as can be. I simply don't wear clothing that... Wait, this has nothing to do with anything, and I refuse to be party to a debate over my own body parts. Indeed. We were talking about the earring and the gorget you made. Both called for brass, which is more useful than you may realize. While it isn't the fanciest metal around, it can be made to resemble gold in appearance if shaped and polished well. And despite Gigi's comments, I believe you've done an excellent job. Robert will doubtless agree. Since he requested that you make these items, I suppose you should be the one to deliver them. You'll find him outside as before. Ah, good to see you again. I take it the earrings and the gorget are ready. By the gods, the craftsmanship is exquisite. This isn't gear to be worn, but art to be admired. It's little wonder that Serendipity was named Guildmaster at such a young age. She is a woman of incomparable talent and rare beauty besides, and she would also like your number. What? It was you who crafted these? Well now, this is an unexpected development. I'll have to keep my eye on both you and our lovely Guildmaster. My thanks. He thought it was my handiwork? I don't know what to say. For a customer to mistake your work for mine speaks of your growth as a goldsmith. At the rate you're improving, I can only imagine what customers will say about you years from now. Alright. Goldsmith is up to task for now. What else do we need? Carbonized matter, that's not going to be for a while. Springs of fresh majorum, that's going to be later. Copperbell Mines is the MSQ. Golden Opportunity. What's this? Oh, that's the Golden Saucer. Alright. Wait. It's maybe MSQ time. Around here should be the sheep required to get horns and stuff too. All I currently see is lizards though. Maybe I'm thinking of a different spot in the desert. It's probably up here actually. Or one of these. It could be... Ooh, no, I bet it's by Alamigo or something. I don't know. Oh, I'm so turned around. Trying to remember where gear comes from, but we'll get there when we get there. Yeah, this is where I mine all the iron. There's been an incident inside the Copperbell Mines. We're here to ensure that its effects are contained, but for your own safety, I suggest you stay away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the Heckendon chairs? I didn't think the Papachon would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see to them, the better. Make ready as best you can, and enter at will. Copperbell Mines, now accessible. Commence. don't think this is the place with the bombs uses lighting. There's gonna be another dungeon that's like that. And I'm so torn on how I feel about the Spriggans. Like, on one hand... He's got a little key. On one hand, they seem so fluffy. Sooty fluffy, but fluffy. But then I see the mouth and all the teeth. And they have sharp, pointy teeth. This is where... Yeah, that's where I came from. Never mind. Wrong way. Any treasures in here? No. Need to go and slay the monsters that probably have a good reason for hating us. Goodbye, party members! Hope you respawn behind me, otherwise this is gonna get awkward. Okay, good. I wonder if it's possible to accidentally leave your human party members up there. Come on. Trying to pull bigger spawns here. Just got the... Is there a key? Might not be a key. Is this where... Nope. Thought maybe this is where I needed to go, but I don't see anything. Oh well, sometimes there might not be stuff. Found a hecaton. Looks way different than Vanille's, but... See, he kind of looks like one of those people from Dragon Quest to me. That wear the ox helmets. I mean, it was supposed to be an Earth Elemental summon in Final Fantasy XIII. It's just that Earth wasn't really used too much. So it would use Quake in its battle against you, but when you actually got the Eidolon, not so much. It's one of those little things that didn't 100% completely mesh. And since everybody ended up getting Quake in the long term, in the run, Vanille ended up getting the Death Element instead of Quake. She was supposed to be Earth-based. With how the final mechanics in the game worked, she ended up being the insta-kill rather than the Quake character. I take it the fluffy bun buns just like copper. They just like rocks, maybe? What's the one in Monster Hunter that's always carrying a rock to try and hit you with? Kululu Yaku? Okay, remember I need to get, like, a fuse and stuff. Just need to remember where to... Yeah, fire sand. Create our own boom booms. Load it into the powder chamber. You guys might not want to stand there staring directly at it, just saying. Lancer, you're testing my patience. Why is it? Everybody get out of the falling rocks. How come I'm the one still lobbing spells from a distance, but Black Mage is just standing there twiddling their thumbs? Oh, shoot. I almost ate it there for a second. No, he gets to eat this instead. By this, I mean my axe. Eat my axe. That didn't sound right. Take anything from the treasure gauntlet? Oh, this never feels sturdy walking on stuff like this. If it bends beneath your feet, I hate it. Get some nice thigh highs for the mages, though, while we're in here. Okay, see the powder chamber. Maybe down in here? The dust must be spread around. Oh, it's dropping the fire sand. I see. I guess when in need of boom boom materials, you can always take out bombs. It checks out. Goggles. I like the appearance. Gimme. And straight down, let me guess, it's probably blocked until we blow a hole in it. Yeah, fancy that. Once again, mind your eyes, crew. Conjurer, I know you can heal, but maybe don't test the gods. A little suspiciously easy, but okay. It's a blob. The ire of the blob. Oh, there's more blobs. Oh, they explode. I thought I was gonna need to draw their attention. They are not actually sentient. I appreciate my NPCs moving out of the way, but they don't need to just stand there. I'm looking at you, eager Thaumaturge, the not-so-eager Thaumaturge. Just saying, you're still allowed to do damage. There we go. We've reduced it to a puddle. Which is not too different from what it was before. Okay, I think we're getting close. So I think it's going to be on this level. The boss. looks like a dead end. Fine, we shall go around. Come on, throw it. That's right, come join the party! Any of you lot drop anything? No, but there's a treasure coffer. Plundered battle axe. You already possess one. I was excited, and then my day was ruined. Get hit by that. Or not, because it died. Is there anything in here? No. It's just a weirdly shaped dungeon. That should be an excellent spot for a chest, just saying. I also try and keep in mind to try and have the tank force the enemy to face a different direction than my party members too, because they also have positionals that are different from mine. Sort of like what I went over in Xenoblade, but in reverse, because in Xenoblade I played as DPS. In Final Fantasy I'm playing as tank. There we go. Hello, boss arena. Slaves no more! Free! Free! To be fair, I sympathize with them. They kind of have every right to be mad. Masters must pay. Masters must die. Never again. Never. I mean, they're kind of dead, though. Gyges the Great. Ooh. I don't know what this one is. Get up close. It's the only place that's not lit up. I guess so. Wait, what are you doing targeting over there? You're supposed to aim at me! And only me! I'm your only dance partner this evening. Dang it. Didn't know I was gonna do that. DPS would like to use the limit break, seeing as this is the end of the dungeon. I know you're NPCs, but this would be a great time, even if it's only one. There we go, duty complete. Do we get any treasure from the treasure? Grimoire again. Well, anyways, let us return to Painted Mesa and tell him of the good news. We got some dungeons unlocked, so that's good. I'm probably gonna wrap it up relatively soon, just because I've done a bunch. Go. Probably should have warped, but I will. Yeah, it's like foggy in game today. I know it has fog cycles. I guess this must be one of them. Why are you in battle stance mode? Commence for battle? I just got out of a battle. What do you want from me? Ah, the Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Thanks to you, our mining operations can resume, and Ul'dah will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation is in your debt, friend. I share the good tidings with Papashan the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Momodi. It'll do the woman well to see you're alive and in one piece. Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even try to deny it. Please, sir, I didn't steal nothing. I bought and paid with this for my own coin. What rot! You refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford maggotry mole meat, let alone a choice cut of dodo. I'm going to say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you never set foot in this town. Aren't you the bastard from last time? By rights, I should turn you over to the brass blade, you know. Help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens. But I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime. But I haven't done nothing wrong. 12 is my witness. And y'all really be that much of cowards? Please, adventurer, help me, I beg of you. I swear on my mother's grave, I didn't steal nothing. I bought this with the coin I saved. I only wanted to treat my children to a decent meal. Bro, there's like not even that many of them. And who the hells are you when you're at home? A dog's master? I've had enough of this mummert's face. You lot, teach them a lesson. You know, maybe don't pick fights with someone wearing gear that is, like, so much better than yours. Unironically, you guys are dressed in fancy clothes and, like, really, really crappy... really, really crappy linens. Are you a part of this? Like, do you join in at any point? Or am I just, like, fighting this one dude in his street clothes? Because, like, this is barely armor. This is just cloth. Just stopped at the 7th ale. And he's drunk! Stop gawping at me and give me a hand, will you? Oh, now you join in. I'm in plate mail! Guys, come on! I'm wielding a giant axe and I'm coated in plate mail, and you're coming to me in what amounts to many as underwear. I don't get paid enough for this. Clearly you don't, or you'd actually come decked out well. Hey, where the hells do you think you're going? Thank you, kind adventurer. Thank you thrice over. There I go, getting headaches from magic use again. I swear there were more refugees than when I last looked. And you wouldn't be mistaken. But it's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they only coming here now? It takes a while to trek over or to admit that you can't repair the place that was damaged. It's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes, and problems like these aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city. I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is the same thing happening to other cities? It depends. How many places did we have around the city? If the talk is true, then yes. Also, you have the structure to survive it. Everybody else lived in, like, little cloth houses, similar to Besaid. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced. Ul'dah has a reputation of being prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them, it truly does. But I would be lying if I said that I wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Well, if things like that take a turn for the worse, we'll always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades would welcome their help. The heroes who fought the Garlean Empire, patrolling the streets for riffraff. It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like. If you've no coin, you've no hope. What will become of our city? You're worried what becomes of your city while they literally have no home. Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins, get your dodo tenderloins, guaranteed cheapest in Thanalan. Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. Looking around, you'd think that Ul'dah was well on its way to recovery. But peer through the veil of prosperity and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. Are you alright? Yeah, sorry about that. Magic gives me headaches. Hence why I use the axe. What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless civilian? What? I saw her buy the meat, you say? That's absurd. Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? I'll overlook this, but just this once. You'll overlook me being right? God's bless you, adventurer. If you haven't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done. I don't bear thinking about. And, you know, it's not polite to throw out snide comments, but stay in the dark. If you're gonna be a smartass, do it in public. Ever the selfless hero, I see. Oh, it's you. It's been a while, adventurer. My previous comment still holds. I've been watching you closely ever since you flew out of Limsa Lominsa. You discharged your duty as the Admiral's personal envoy with admirable humility, and you've displayed unfaltering courage in the face of danger ever since. Whenever you came upon those in need, you gave them succor, with no thought of personal gain. My personal gain is being able to show people like that some respect, some manners. In summary, you've demonstrated all the qualities we seek of an adventurer. I mean, I'd want people to do the same for me, so... For reasons I cannot well explain, your every deed seems invariably to serve the general good, whether you mean it to or not. It is a happy knack, and one which speaks volumes of your character. Yet for all your admirable qualities, it is your gift which intrigues me most. I speak of the visions you experience. Visions like the one you had mere moments ago, if I am not mistaken. I can provide you with the means to understand them. An acquaintance of mine is blessed with the same talent, you see. If you so desire, I can introduce you to her. She and I fight for a common cause, a cause which would greatly benefit for your support. If you would agree to lend us your strength, we would be glad to do all within our power to aid in your personal endeavors. Think of my offer for a while. Should you decide to accept it, pray speak with our Momodi. The proprietress of the Quicksand is a close friend and ally of ours. Inform her that you have been chosen by the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and she will tell you where to find us. Or, you know, you could tell me. Why bring Momodi into this? Actually, Momodi should be right there. So it's probably a good idea to take on this quest at least. Scenes like that are becoming ever more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll probably be all right. Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. I just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, huh? Of course, I do enjoy hear and tell of gentlemen's woes out with the womenfolk from time to time. Ah, sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh-off-the-carriage adventurer. But gods, it's good to see you safe and well. To look at you, no one would ever guess you've been hard at it with giants in the dark. You're every ilm the adventurer Muni said you'd be. The station master is overjoyed when he hears the news. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I knew who she meant right away. Thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while. My name is Ada. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends in Gridania when... I'm sorry. We were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Avir, and he and I were to be wed this spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dawn to dusk. He saw you for what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer, and swore that he would be like you one day. But I haven't even been around that long. Interesting pick. I believe that he would have succeeded, had a friend not robbed him of the chance. A fiend not robbed him of the chance, my bad, sorry. Ever since that day, I have thought long and hard about giving up adventuring. But when I think of the woman you are, or all that you've achieved, I find that I'm inspired, just as Avir once was. And so I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I'll go back to the village of my birth and begin training anew. But I wanted to meet you first, to ask your name. Red Nightmare, I shan't forget. Thank you. I pray that we will meet again. Fare you well. Adventuring can be a cruel bleeding business. Time was, it didn't know why anyone would bother. When they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot, though it'd be a right pain in the arse looking after you all. But against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post, and I'm full glad I did. I feel privileged to be a part of your lives. And that goes double for yours. Huh? What did you say? You want to know about the science of the 7th Dawn? Here in public? They're beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, the Scions ain't no ordinary folk, and the work they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can. Alright, Scions of the 7th Dawn, let's go. You want to know more than... You know more then, do you? Well, then ain't that a surprise. I swear if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on the other, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first, and the other bloke wouldn't even be able to choose on account of being Ul'Dan. Anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, if you're wondering whether you can trust the Scions of the 7th Dawn, you can. They're good people who've made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's most pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task, so they're always looking for dependable adventurers to join them. Individuals like you. Now, I've given leave to tell you where to find the Scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. The Scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay, out in West Thanalan. The place you're looking for is called the Waking Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance, and you'll be let in. You're someone in demand, and the days ahead promise to be busy, but I hope you won't forget them as they helped make you into the adventurer you are. Drop in and tell them how you're faring from time to time, you hear? Right, well I've said my piece. Off you go. Alright. But I think I've done more than enough for the day, so I think I'm gonna turn into the inn. Because Bren tired. Bren been at this for 6 hours. Bren need nap. Bren have other things to do around house. So Bren is going to call it a stream here. So again, thank you so much to everyone who has joined. Sorry it took me so long to get back to this. Like I said, there's been a lot of personal stuff going on at home. EP, yes, very EP. There's been a lot of personal stuff going at home, and also I wanted to completely finish Xenoblade, which I did. Which means I have more time to do other things. So with that, thank you so much to everyone who has joined, and I hope to see you all in future streams. Bye-bye!